A very pleasant good evening and welcome to Willie T. Barnett Field here in Charlottesville, Virginia, as the Charlottesville Tom Sox at 19-8 take on the 10-13 Culpeper Cavaliers. I'm Luke Ned Carney, joined tonight by Matt Cabram. Matt, 3 in a row for the Cavaliers in the win column. They're 7-3 in their last 10. What's it going to take to cool off the opposition tonight?
Well, you know what it is? You just mentioned it, Luke. I mean, this is a team right now almost in the bottom of the standings, but 7-3 in their last 10. They've been playing tooth and nail every single game recently, and right now the Tom Sox, too, they went on a little bit, not much of a skid, but they lost a few games on that 4-game road trip. They split the entire road trip. It was very good. They had a big win last night in Waynesboro, so it's just coming back here home on Holidays in the Hill night, a little bit of festive here at the ballpark, and bring that, that merry magic and try to win a ball game today.
Yeah, absolutely. Jerseys in the press box tonight. That's the theme when I'm here. Allen Iverson and Luis Suarez joining you tonight.
Wow, what a combo.
Yeah, 9 o'clock Eastern time, Uruguay gets underway against
Brazil.
Against who?
Brazil.
Big game in Copa America tonight. But first things first, here at Willie T. Barnett Field, the Culpeper Cavaliers batting order looks like this. Ryan Story, the center fielder, leads things off. He's followed by Kazuya Jordan, the second baseman. Connor Marinac, the shortstop, is the third batter, followed by cleanup man John Howard. He's at third base. Across the infield, the other corner infielder, Bennett Fryman, bats fifth at first base, and Bryce Demery, the right fielder, is sixth. 7, 8, 9, designated hitter Brock Bollinger, catcher Caden Chrisman, and left fielder Jackson Rusicki round out the lineup for the Cavaliers, dressed in their traveling gray uniforms with navy blue numerals trimmed in yellow, gray pants as well, and navy blue caps for the Cavs tonight. Tom Sox in the lime green vests with the navy blue sleeves, white caps, navy blue bills, TS logo on the front. Tom Sox emblazoned in white on the front of the jerseys and white pants, as well as they will go with a defensive lineman that looks like this. Cooper Blauser at third, Nick Parham at short, Ryan Wynn at second, Caden Ferrara at first. Left to right around the outfield, Blake Brookins, Ethan Gibson, and Sam Mumau. And Robbie Levy does the catching for Chase Stryker, who had a great outing his last time here at Willie T. Barnett Field just before the All-Star break, striking out 7 Waynesboro Generals batters. And we are about underway here with Ryan Story digging in for the Cavaliers as he bats from the left side. And the wind-up, first pitch swinging, slow roller to third, gobbled up by Blauser. Tough throw over to first, and the runner Story beats it out by half a step. So a swinging bunt results in the first hit of the ball game.
And that's how you got to be when you're the Cavaliers here. Coming on the road to a team that's the best, not only in the South Division, Luke, but best in the league. You have to get that offense going early and just try to, set the tempo yourself, silence the crowd, and that's what they're trying to do here in this first inning.
Next up for the Cavaliers is Kazuya Jordan, the second baseman. He's out of VMI, Fredericksburg, Virginia native. Playing about halfway between here this evening, his hometown and his college town, as the pickoff throw goes to first. From Chase Stryker, who comes out of Coastal Carolina. Leadoff man aboard for the Cavaliers here in the top of the first. Squaring around to bunt, pitch called a strike. The throw down to second, not quite in time, and the Cavaliers now have a runner in scoring position just like that.
Back to Stryker, you just mentioned he had a great last home start. Like you said, 7 strikeouts in those 16 batters, but how about that ERA? 180, sub-2. He's thrown 15 innings this year. 18 strikeouts total this summer, Luke.
More than 1 per inning. Ahead of the batter, Jordan now. Fastball comes in, fouled back, 0-2. Freddie Rivera calls the balls and strikes tonight. At first base is Vance Coleman. Coleman actually positioned slightly behind the pitcher Stryker now. And down the third base line tonight is Jerry Burish.
Eddie Rivera, what a name. That's a baseball name. We were talking about that right before.
1-2 the count now. Is that one way out of the zone? For the longest time, it was 2-man umpiring crews. Now we've got 3-man crews here in the Valley League. It's kind of gone between the two depending on how many guys we have available during the season. Stryker looks back, kicks, fires the 1-2. That one misses downstairs. Almost gets away from the catcher, Levy. Good job there by the backstop.
Big play there by Levy. A few times yesterday by both teams, both the Tom Sox and the Generals, that a lot of pass balls occurred, and guys are flying all over the place. So the Tom Sox scored a big run yesterday, early on in that offensive onslaught on the road yesterday. Had a big Runner coming in.
Count is even at 2-2. Striker fires. That one's just upstairs, and the count goes full.
That was very close, Luke. Guess just missed on that outside corner.
To a taller player, that might have been a strike.
Like an
Maybe
Aaron Judge.
Just a little bit high. Yeah, that's a strike to Aaron Judge for sure. With a runner on second and nobody away, the 3-2. That one just misses outside, and the Cavaliers have their first 2 runners aboard here in the top of the first.
Now for Striker, you got to get one out at a time right here. You got to focus on this batter. Connor Mariniak, one of their best hitters in the lineup. And actually their top hitter, hitting .370 in his 46 at-bats, has 17 hits. He's got a few home runs to his name this season and 10 RBI, so got an RBI opportunity right there now on second base. He's going to try to set this tempo early.
Mariniak out of Charlotte. Misses outside to Striker with the first pitch, and now out for a quick chat is Robbie Levy. Yes. I saw a ball being thrown in the Tom Sox bullpen, but I think that just might be the guy's not even in uniform, so it might just be tossing around.
Striker's last appearance for the team came on in a really tough situation on the road in Covington. Unfortunately, got the loss to his record, came in with the bases loaded, couldn't get that final out, and the Lumberjacks were victorious at home. It was their second walk-off night in a row, actually, over there. They came back from the night before. They were down 8-0, Luke. So they were very happy, their workers and stuff. They were talking to us in the booth, to some of our interns.
Never over till it's over. First and second. The count's 1-0 to Mariniak. A Reading, Pennsylvania native. Righty-on-righty matchup with Striker. Striker fires a fastball. That one misses outside, 2-0.
Striker needs to find his own tempo here himself. Just got to find a groove here with Levy.
Levy had a walk-off 2-run homer the last time the Tom Sox were here at home.
I always miss the good games.
8 days ago against the Waynesboro Generals. 2-0 misses outside him. That was otherwise occupied. Family wedding or something. Not that important.
My cousin got married. Shout out, Chloe. No, you know what? It was important, but not important to miss the Tom Sox hitting a walk-off home run.
3-0. Striker in a bit of trouble. He gets that one over for a called strike. The count looks a little better. Still a hitter's count now for Mariniak. Cleanup man John Howard is on deck for Culpeper. Looking to draw first blood here. As the 3-1 comes in. Looper into shallow right field. That is going to be dived for, and is that caught by the right fielder, Sam Mumaw? Yes, they rule that it did not hit the ground, and a web gem for the Tom Sox here. I thought that might have been trapped, but our first base umpire, Vance Coleman, with the signal.
And I thought for a second the way Nick Parham was holding that ball, I thought they were going to start stepping on all the bases just in case. That would have been some sort of a triple play here at Charlottesville to start this game.
Yeah, good run, good awareness there by the Culpeper base runners to not stray off the bags there and get doubled off. So 1 out. John Howard, the third baseman, now up for the Cavaliers. Striker looking to settle in from the stretch, misses outside, ball gets away from Levy, and that's going to take the double play out of order as the runners move up 90 feet. Striker missing outside with a lot of these pitches.
John Howard just under Mariniak, their best hitter, is hitting .361, 26 hits in his 72 at-bats. Big RBI machine too, 18, nearing that 20 mark, and be a good time right here to get it 19 and 20. We're sitting right there in the pond for Culpeper.
John Howard out of the University of Mount Olive in North Carolina. North Carolina native of Kinston, the 1-0. Misses outside, home of the Down East Wood Ducks minor league baseball team. Two 2-0 the count now, second and third, 1 away. Tom Sox with the infield back, looking to trade the out for the run. 2-0 misses outside, and
right after striker, you got to get a strike here over the plate. Doesn't matter what it is. You think they have a green light here? I don't think so.
I don't think so either. Not this early. I think if you're Culpeper, you look to load the bases here, but
try to load their bases for their 5-hitter. That'd be Brett Fryman coming on deck. Bennett Fryman.
And that's what's exactly going to happen as 4-pitch walk to Howard. Now time called by Adam Doffelmeyer, the pitching coach for the Tom Sox. He's going to walk out. You'll see Randy Tomlin make the changes for the Tom Sox, but this will be just a discussion and a strategy session as Doffelmeyer will walk out to the mound. And
Doffelmeyer with probably Fryman's analytics just trying to say, hey, you're just a ground ball away from getting out of this jam, and that's what you got to try to blow up here. You know, you got a great defense behind you, a defense that makes a lot of plays. Just put one over the plate and just see if they can help you out. But in Striker's mind, though, Luke, he's definitely trying to get this batter himself.
Absolutely. And, you know, the Tom Sox scored 16 runs last night. The runs don't carry over, so you hope they didn't, you know, leave too much out there at Waynesboro last night. And they don't have enough in the tank tonight, but home plate umpire Freddie Rivera out to break up the meeting. And Tom Sox with some action in the bullpen, a left-hander throwing. I believe that is Brett Gastman.
First baseman from Arizona State, number 4, Bennett Fryman.
As it will be Bennett Fryman out of Arizona State, the first baseman. Batting with the sacks full. Here in the top of the first, one away. Cavaliers threatening right off the bat. We're just underway here at Willie T. Barnett Field. The first pitch from Striker misses inside.
Trying to jam him. Trying to get that double play ball, Luke. Try to right here on this first pitch. That inside fastball.
We're looking for a pop-up, maybe an infield fly, or, of course, a strikeout. The kick, the delivery from Striker, that one misses downstairs. 2-0.
Just missed over the plate. Also trying to get Fryman to bite here early, but very disciplined for the 5-hitter for Culpeper.
The 2-0 from the stretch. Delivery, that one right over for strike one.
Good pitch strike right there. Trying to do it again here. Try to win this at-bat back.
Striker comes set at the belt. The 2-1 is inside, 3-1. Now Culpeper 1 ball away from striking first. The 3-1 from Striker. That one well inside and down low. And Tom Sox walk in a run here for the first score of the game. And Culpeper with an opportunity for a big inning here as Bryce Demery comes up, the right fielder.
And right now for Culpeper, I guess the guys are going to start saying in the dugout, hey, wait for your pitch, because right now, Striker, it's got a little bit of a not his tempo. So right now, if you're Culpeper, just trying to keep piling these walks any way you can, because right now, none of these guys are getting out of undiscipline and swinging for some of these.
Yeah, I definitely think we're going to see a called strike here. You know, Demery's going to be taking until there's a called strike, and that's not it, as first pitch misses outside. Cavaliers 3 wins in a row coming into tonight. They're 7-3 in their last 10. The 1-0. That one catches the outside corner, strike one.
Demery, native of Zion's Crossroads here in Virginia, Lynchburg College.
Zion Crossroads about 20 minutes from here on the I-64. The 1-1 over the outer half, strike two. You add the to the highway names. I tend not to, but I've just kind of caught on.
Yeah, like I said, not too long ago before I came down here, me and my cousin drove up the I-95 and went straight through Richmond. Virginia was one of our longest parts of that trip, though.
Yup, the 1-2 called, third strike on the outside corner, and that's a good bounce back there by Striker. As an unproductive out for the Cavaliers here, it's out number 2 in a 1-0 ball game, top of the first.
Great attempt there by Striker. Challenged him on that outside corner again, got him looking, and honestly got a big out he really needed, Luke. And just like this, you're 1 out away from getting out of this jam, only allowing just 1 run.
And that would definitely be a win for the Tom Sox here. As up next is the designated hitter, Brock Bollinger. He's sometimes a catcher for the Cavaliers, misses outside to Striker. And everything he's missing is missing at the same part. Inside to a lefty, outside to a righty. I think that might have been what Adam Doffelmeyer was talking to him a few minutes ago. Striker kicks, delivers. That ball hit in the air, center field, not deep. However, it's going to be a long run for the Tom Sox center fielder, Ethan Gibson. He gets to it, and that will be the inning as the Cavaliers leave 3 men on base. They do score, however, and it's 1-0 as we go to the bottom of the first. Tom Sox coming up for the first time tonight on Tom Sox TV. Luke Nat Garney, Matt Cabram back with you. 1-0 Cavaliers in front of the Tom Sox, who come up with a record of 19-8 and a lineup that looks like this. Ethan Gibson bats first, followed by Ryan Wynn, Robbie Levy in the 3-hole for Randy Tomlin's club. 4-5-6, Colby Wallace, the designated hitter, Caden Ferraro, the first baseman, and Blake Brookins, the left fielder. 7-8-9, Cooper Blauser, Nick Parham, and Sam Mumma against the right-hander from Arizona State of the Culpeper Cavaliers, Brock Eddy. And I guess Ed and Ed were not available tonight, so we go straight to Eddy. Couple of Sun Devils on this roster. You saw Bennett Fryman draw a bases-loaded walk for the Cavaliers to drive in a run, and it's 1-0 here as the Tom Sox bat for the first time tonight. Ethan Gibson up, and we've seen him almost everywhere this summer.
Everywhere, even in the outfield tonight.
First pitch swinging, both teams first pitch swinging on the leadoff hitter, and Gibson hits a sharp grounder to short, gobbled up over there by Connor Mariniak, and over to Fryman at first for out number 1.
Didn't even give me a chance to talk about it tonight, last night. 3 hits yesterday for Gibson, had a few RBIs, back in that leadoff spot yesterday for the first time in a few games, and he soared yesterday, almost led the offense. It was him and Jake Books. Books just beat him by a little bit, having 5 RBIs, because when you bring in 5 guys, you had a pretty good night.
Either that or you're eating some burgers and fries.
Yeah.
As Ryan Wynn is up, he's the second baseman tonight. Takes the ball upstairs. Righty on righty matchup with Brock Eddy, the right-hander, who steams one in at the letters for a strike, 1-1.
Wynn, one of the better hitters on this team, hitting .317, 63 at-bats, 20 hits, and he's just been an on-base machine recently. Even yesterday, just drawing big walks when he needed them.
The 1-1 to Ryan Wynn. Off-speed pitch over the outside corner, strike 2, and it's 1-2.
As Wynn didn't really agree with that pitch. Thought that one caught a little bit too much outside, but now he's got to lock in here.
Eddy goes 6'3", 185. He's a rising sophomore for the Sun Devils. The 1-2, swing and a miss, strike 3. And it goes around the horn for the Cavaliers as the first 2 batters for Charlottesville have been retired.
He's going to bring up Levy now.
Robbie Levy with the walk-off home run 8 nights ago against Waynesboro to deep right center field. Suffered an injury earlier in the season, bounced back, and now back behind the plate, platooning with Cale Strickland. Looking to get the Tom Sox some 2-out juice here in the bottom of the first. The first pitch comes in and curves in there for strike 1.
It's a good first pitch strike to Brock Eddy. Knowing that Levy's one of these dangerous hitters, challenged him on that first pitch with the breaking ball.
Eddy winds, fires, and Robbie looks at that one just outside the outside, off the outside corner, ball 1, it's 1-1. A
lot of these Charlottesville hitters, especially Robbie Levy, very disciplined in these at-bats.
The 1-1 curveball hit on a line down the first base side and foul. I'm not really sure how our first base umpire was able to make that call as he had to dance out of the way himself, but great job there by Vance Coleman right on it. It's 1-2.
It may be holidays in the hills night, but it's always dancing night here for Mr. Coleman over there at first. Got his dancing shoes on over there.
A little Victor Cruz action with the salsa.
He's able to make the call too, so how about that gets on Sports Center Top 10.
Time called by Randy Tomlin down at third. I think he has the same idea we do. He's like, how did he see that if he was turning out of the way? And I mean, it's not like we can go to the monitor here in the Valley League, so I think Randy probably thinks that was a fair ball.
If anything, me and you are New York here, Luke. We have the angle here, the only camera angle we have. It's very thin here and what your viewers here back at home are looking at. Just so thin, you can't really see if that ball landed.
And I think what you can do, Matt, is at least ask the other umpires if they saw anything different, which is what's happening here.
The real question is now, Luke, if they were to call this a fair ball, do they just place Levy on first, knowing that could have been stretched out to a double?
Maybe. I'm not sure.
They're not Levy talking it up with the home plate umpire Crispin, just saying, yeah, I think that was foul, dude.
Yeah, I think that's what's happening because Randy Tomlin requesting the conference here. You were talking with Coach Tomlin a little before today's game on the Cruz daily walk around the park.
I love the daily walk. Little pregame ritual we thought of here. So me and some of the interns. Shout out to Ben Rikosh. I think he started it. GG Jones. And we got me, Mike Bolger now, Molly Bidwell.
All names you recognize.
Kaylee
from
Trent,
various
trying
Tom
to
Sox.
make sure I don't leave anyone out. George, I always butcher our photographer George's last name, so I'm just gonna go with Armin Goal. Hopefully he doesn't chew me out for that one later. Mike's giving me the look. I think I pronounced it wrong. And Lily Irvin. So shout out to the walking crew. We've got a good bond over here. Some of us interns.
And this is tough for Brock Eddy. Looking back to this conference between the umpires, because you're just as you look at him, he's just kind of standing there, not really knowing when he's going to throw his next pitch. I'm kind of surprised we haven't seen him toss back and forth with his catcher a little bit.
With Chrisman.
As the Tom Sox bat with 2 outs, nobody on, they're down 1-0, and we're currently trying to determine whether Robbie Levy's line shot there was a fair ball or a foul ball, and if it was a fair ball, where do they put him?
Looks like we're going to call there. They're giving him.
They are going to call that a fair ball, and they're going to give him second base.
Wow. You know what? I thought they were going to call that foul in the long run. So when I asked you that question, Luke, I didn't think he'd get a chance to go to second base.
Right, yeah. And now Brandon Mack, the Culpeper Cavaliers manager. Actually, they're going to give him first base.
It looked like he pointed
to second base.
I know the viewers saw that too, but now the Culpeper manager is going to want to get an explanation on this. I mean, for me, Luke, judgment, vantage point, I thought that did go foul, but hey, I mean, for the Sox, I'm not going to complain, but I understand the Culpeper manager's frustration.
Yeah, I mean,
here.
he's wondering, I think what he's wondering is how on earth did any of the other umpires see that clearly? You know, how on earth did Randy Tomlin see that clearly from his third base coaching box? But as it stands now we're going to see Brock Eddy throw a couple of warm-up pitches, as it's going to be Colby Wallace, the ECU Pirate and designated hitter
just
tonight
another
for the
guy who's been raking
Sox.
for the Tom Sox.
Yep. Also can do some pitching as well.
Oh, yeah, two-way player, the rising sophomore from Bisco, North Carolina. Like you mentioned, the ECU Pirate, 215, 6'2". He's listed as a utility man and a pitcher.
Bisco, North Carolina, in Montgomery County, down in the south central part of the state, outside of Charlotte. That's right on the line between vinegar barbecue and tomato-based barbecue, if you're familiar with the state of North Carolina. As Wallace, righty-on-righty matchup with Brock Eddy, runner on first, Robbie Levy. Wallace takes a strike on the outside corner.
Good first pitch strike, trying to challenge the four-hitter and Colby Wallace.
We mentioned Wallace pitches some. He picked up the win 8 nights ago in the last game here at Willie T. Barnett Field with Robbie Levy's walk-off home run. He was the pitcher in the 9th, held the Generals scoreless in the top half of that inning as Levy dives back safely. He's a 2-out base runner for the Tom Sox after a single that was almost not a single. Strike 2 as Wallace swings and misses at a fastball there. Tom Sox get their first hit of the ball game, but the Cavaliers lead 1-0 here as Brock Eddy looks to get out of this inning with no damage done after Levy's single. The 0-2 with 2 away from the stretch. That one just outside, and it's ball 1.
Good eye by Wallace. He already knows that in this game. Home plate umpire and Freddie Rivera have been calling those outside pitches, so good eye there.
With Levy on first from the stretch, here's the 1-2. Eddy rocks, fires, fastball, swing and a miss, strike 3, and the Cavaliers get out of the inning after the 2-out single. It's 1-0 Culpeper on top. We go to the top of the second inning here on Tom Sox TV. 1-0, Cavaliers in front of the Tom Sox as we go to the top of the second inning, and Chase Stryker back out to the hill after bouncing back, giving up that bases-loaded walk, and Cavaliers drawing first blood, but finishing the inning strong. Getting a strikeout and a flyout. He'll face 7, 8, 9, or I should say 8, 9, and 1 here in the Culpeper lineup. Caden Crispin out of Rutgers.
Hitting 103 on the year, Luke. A little bit on the lower end, but just like you said, he's been splitting time with Brock Bollinger. From New Hill, North Carolina.
Stryker fires that one in, and it's fouled way high out to the right side and out of play.
Where's New Hill at? I know you've been getting that Carolina locations up for us here on this broadcast.
So that is in Wake County, just outside Raleigh, which is, of course, where I spent my college years at NC State. The 0-1. Swing and a miss, strike 2. I was at NC State when Carlos Rodon was pitching for the Wolfpack.
So as an NC State alum and fan, I mean, this had to be a great year for you guys.
It was pretty awesome, not going to lie. If we could have just gotten that bowl game win and gotten to 10 W's in football, it would have been perfect, as the 0-2 is outside. But I'll take Final Fours in men's and women's basketball in the College World Series, too.
DJ Burns just running the Wolfpack.
The 1-2. Hit high in the air, center field. Gibson tracking over to his left. Calls off the right fielder, Sam Mumaw, and that's out number 1.
I mean, we've seen Ethan Gibson everywhere this year for the Tom Sox. We've seen him in both middle infields. We've seen him on, I think, both the corners. I got to go back and do my stats. I think we've seen him at first once. He was at first earlier in the year, and now in the outfield. I mean, what can't this guy do, man? He can bat at the top of the order. He can bat in the bottom of the order. He can bat in the middle. No matter where you go, Ethan Gibson's everywhere.
Has he pitched yet this summer?
I guess. Hey, next time they try to run a score up like they did yesterday, they got to try him out.
That might be the last frontier for Ethan Gibson. As 9-hole hitter now up for the Cavaliers as Jackson Rusicki digs in. He bats from the right side in left field tonight. He's from Marion, Connecticut, but plays for the North Carolina Tar Heels. Ahead 1-0, and he stings that one back up the middle over the outstretched glove of Stryker, and that's a one-out base hit for the Cavs.
Say rope up the middle. Just honestly, just glad that Stryker was able to get out of the way in the reaction time. And
yeah, he didn't really have a play on it. He was just kind of reaching for it nonchalantly, and hard hit ball back up the middle brings up the top of the lineup now for the Cavaliers, Ryan Story, who singled.
I wish we had an exit velo tracker. I wonder how fast that one got off the bat of Rusicki.
An infield single it was for Story, his first time at the plate. Pickoff throw to first, not in time.
That was the chopper over to the left side of Blauser, who came into making a play. Just the speedy of Story was able to finish the book.
First pitch, official pitch from Stryker, just misses outside. You and I on the same page here with these book jokes. Of course, Jake Book's not in the lineup tonight for the Tom Sox,
not in the
unfortunately.
Lineup. He would have been a great player for book night.
Yeah, absolutely. First pitch, the 1-0 pitch is fouled down the right field line on the ground, 1-1.
When I was writing the article for the Tom Sox, I was going to try to make a pun with how good his day was yesterday, but couldn't really find it in that article, especially when you only play 5 innings. Just wrote one up as quick as possible.
Book's a college teammate of our starting pitcher tonight over at Coastal Carolina. The 1-1 from the aforementioned Chase Stryker takes a little bit off of it, and a swing and a miss, strike 2.
Good outside breaking ball pitch, challenging Story to the outside of the plate. Let's see if he can try to get him fooling here.
With a runner on first, we'll see if Rusicki decides to run. There he goes from the stretch, pitch up and in. Throw down to second, not in time, unfortunately. It was a good throw from Robbie Levy, but good jump there by Rusicki, and that's the second stolen base of the game for the Cavaliers.
Levy had a good pop time, but Rusicki with a greater jump, just able to get under that throw.
2-2 the count. Tom Sox bullpen has gone quiet. Curveball misses outside. And I wonder if that's because someone's ready to come in or if they're just going to stick with Stryker after he got through that first inning. But now the count goes full to the top of the order. The 3-2 from the stretch. Check swing back to the pitcher, and they're going to have the runner hung up between second and third. He goes over to third to Blauser, now to Ryan Wynn. Wynn gives it back to the pitcher, Stryker, who applies the tag, and we'll work on the scoring of that one. The original batter runner gets all the way to second base, so he takes the place of the runner Rusicki. That's Story on second base now, and it's 2 away.
If I do remember the play, I think it was a 1-5-4, and I think that's a shortstop, so 6.
1-5-4-1.
Shout out to our analytics guy Asher here in the booth.
That's why we sit right next to him, because we're not the ones scoring the game. We're just taking what he gives us. Thanks a lot to Asher.
And great base running there by Story.
Yeah,
just
definitely.
being able to just get back in scoring position for the Cavaliers. Also a great play by Stryker. Usually as a pitcher, you have maybe a half second to look to see if that guy goes, and you're already thinking throwing the first, and from the catch him and then going the other way with his arm, more of like a Patrick Mahomes torque.
First pitch misses outside, by the way. It's 1-0 to Kazuya Jordan, who walked his first time at the plate. The 1-0 right over for strike one. Brett Favre also used to be able to throw those sidearm throws on the run.
Just a beautiful
Phillip
day
Rivers.
Here, My bad.
Oh, no worries,
At the
man.
same time.
It is a 1-1 pitch, hit slowly on the ground, gobbled up by Blauser, over to first for the out, and that was a tough play made easy by the son of a former major leaguer. Tom Sox get out of the inning without allowing any runs, despite the hard single by the 8-hole hitter, or the 9-hole hitter Rusicki. And we go to the bottom of the second inning with the score 1-0, Culpeper in front on Tom Sox TV. Back in Charlottesville, as it's 1-0 in favor of the Culpeper Cavaliers. Not very often that the Cavaliers are the visiting team here in Charlottesville, but when you're talking Valley League, that is the case, as the homestanding Tom Sox will have hitters 5, 6, and 7 coming to the plate. Caden Ferraro, the first baseman, leads things off. The relatively new arrival here in Charlottesville.
From Blinn College.
Pearland, Texas native. We might see him pitch at some point this season as well, as Ferraro, first pitch swinging, sends it high and foul, left side, out of play.
And Ferraro's only a few games under his belt here with the Tom Sox. But right now, technically, with how point streak works, has the best average on the team at 545.
Facing Brock Eddy, the righty out of Arizona State. Eddy misses high upstairs. The 1-1 curveball misses high and away.
Ferraro 6'2", 215. So far in his 11 at-bats with the Tom Sox, 6 hits, 2 big doubles.
Looking to make it 7 there, and he fouls that one off 2-2.
And he has also been producing for the team, 3 RBIs, so something like when you join late and you're just getting ready to produce any opportunity you can.
The 2-2 from Eddy is hit looping in the air to left center field, and that gets down for a leadoff single. So, a good start for the Tom Sox here in the second inning.
Very big loop. Got to get that first guy on and just try to work around this now, but back to Ferraro, we were just talking about it. 6 hits and 11 at-bats, make that 7 and 12 now. That average just goes right back up.
Now up for the Tom Sox is the left fielder Blake Brookins, also a relatively new face. Righty on lefty matchup as Eddie gets a first pitch over there over the inside corner for strike one. Brookins, a Miami native, plays for the Florida Gators, who had an eventful offseason.
SoFlo. And for Brookins, I mean, he's, I think, tied for the second tallest in the team with Ryan Grayshak, 6'6", so very tall here. You really can't tell with the angle of the camera. But he's a tall dude.
0-1 the count to him as he hits this one high in the air, deep right field, down the line, going back, looking up is Bryce Demery. He climbs, and that ball is gone. So welcome to Charlottesville, a couple of new-ish arrivals. Ferraro and Brookins crossing the plate, and the Tom Sox with a little reverse eye on the Culpeper Cavaliers. It's 2-1.
And what a swing there by Blake Brookins, the new guy from the University of Florida. We're still breaking down how he was, hitting just 400, and that one just got all of that one. And, I mean, Luke, Eddie tried to challenge him there with the inside breaking ball, and he's saying that one almost to the train tracks over those trees and right.
Almost took Old Glory down off that flagpole as well. As digging in now for the Sox is Cooper Blauser, the third baseman. If that name sounds familiar, as Blauser swings and misses at the first pitch. He is the son of Jeff Blauser, formerly of the Atlanta Braves and Chicago Cubs.
So funny. Wait.
1-2. Well, the 0-1 is swung on and missed. 0-2.
Our media director, David Argo, told me when the season started he never sees anyone hit home runs over there in that right field wall, and we've got a few of them this year now, so glad to see the short porch out there.
Blauser swings at the 0-2 and hits it sharply on the ground between second and third, and that gets through for a base hit. So the Tom Sox hit parade continues here in the bottom of the second inning. They're ahead 2-1. And nobody out, resetting the offense.
3 straight hits for Charlottesville, and that probably had to be something with what the coaches were talking about after these half innings, that you got to be a little more aggressive early in these counts with Eddie, and right now it's been paying off.
Nick Parham up next, the shortstop, the left side infield mate of Blauser, and Parham out of East Carolina, one of 2 Pirates in the batting order tonight, takes a strike.
Had a huge triple yesterday, clearing the bases, scoring 3 runs.
Been one of the quieter, unsung heroes for the Sox this year, just kind of plays every day and flies under the radar, and then boom, he does something that knocks your socks off as he fouls that one down to the first base dugout. And it's picked up by Tom Sox manager Randy Tomlin, or actually that's Scott Strickland, assistant coach.
Even with his first week with the team, had a big walk-off hit, or game-winning hit, I should say. He was on the road to Covington.
Goes down on strikes here as he foul tips that one into the mitt of the catcher Chrisman, and that's out number 1.
And now here's someone who was eager to get back in this lineup. Yesterday was sat out yesterday and pinch hit for Ethan Gibson.
Sam Mumau, who was the subject of a great tweet the other day when he was juxtaposed with Lake Mumau when we were going down to Covington a couple days ago. Ben Rikosh there with the thumbs up. The man behind the madness.
Ben's got a lot of good facts and stats over on our social media pages. You can also shout out his podcast that usually gets an episode every week, On Deck with the Tom Sox. He's the producer of that. Usually I'll be on there with Dylan Price, Mike Bolger, and you know, you're a broadcaster. You got to hop on one of our podcasts.
I have
these
been.
days.
I've been once this year. It was great.
I didn't know. When was this?
You got to get on Ben for that. As the first pitch is a strike.
I'll tell him about my no invite to that one.
First, the 0-1 is fouled down past Randy Tomlin in the third base box. 0-2. Actually, you're talking to the man who founded On Deck with the Tom Sox way back in the day. Back before the days of black and white television and newspapers and horses and buggies.
Oh, yeah.
As Jeff Harrington, our PA announcer, rolls his eyes at me. Jeff saving me from being the oldest man in the booth tonight, as he so often does as the 0-2 is up and in.
I want to alert Mumau to back out of the zone. Try to go up and in on that fastball. Just missed just a little bit inside.
1 away for the Tom Sox. They've got 2 in, runner on first. 3 hits this inning. Called third strike on the outside corner. Mumau did not like that one. That was the first chance we've seen to have Freddie Rivera's banging a called third strike there. It was emphatic as out number 2 recorded.
And for Eddie, that's big. Big 2 strikeouts after giving 3 hits in a row, trying to keep this limited to a run-run game as much as he can, and now he's going to face a guy who's able to induce a ground out in his first at-bat.
That is Ethan Gibson now, the top of the order. One of the top Tom Sox this season. He was in Purcellville a week ago, representing the South Division in the All-Star game as he takes the ball outside. That didn't go so well for the South Division as a whole. North Division with a big victory in the All-Star game in Purcellville as the 1-0
It's a whopping score.
in there for a strike.
I believe it was what?
20-2, I think.
That's like old school NLAL where those few years in the AL were just dominating those All-Star games.
It used to be that way. The 1-1. Hit high in the air. Foul, right side, out of play.
Ethan Gibson's so good. You'll see him right here getting these 0-2, 1-2 counts. And one of the best hitters on this team with also drawing walks and fighting back, winning these counts. So we'll see with the 1-2 count here, runner on first. See if he can try to battle back here and win this at-bat.
With 2 strikes, the runner on first is Blauser. Stays outside, 2-2.
Gibson, the Abingdon, Virginia native, the Virginia Tech guy, the 2 guys who are around the Charlottesville area where the UVA is, you'd say the bad guys on the team.
Well, we always get a few Hokies every year, and they always play pretty well for us, so I'm okay with it. As the 2-2 on the way from Eddie, swing and a miss, strike 3 on a changeup, and Gibson tosses the bat in the air as he heads back to the dugout and will prepare to head back out to center field. But the Tom Sox get 2 on a 2-run homer to right by Blake Brookins, and it's 2-1 ahead of the Cavaliers as we go to the 3rd inning on Tom Sox TV. 2-1, the Tom Sox in front, and Chase Stryker will pitch for the first time tonight with a lead as Blake Brookins, the left fielder's 2-run home run, gave the Tom Sox a 2-1 lead here in the top of the 3rd. Luke Ned Carney, Matt Cabram here with you, and it's 3, 4, and 5. Middle of the Culpeper order for Charlottesville to face here in the top of the 3rd inning. Stryker from the windup catches the outside corner for strike 1.
Well, almost play on words there. Stryker with the first pitch strike, and he's wearing number 1. So from Mariniak had that fly ball to right where we had the diving Sam Mumma.
Fastball over the outer half for strike 2, and Matt, during the break you were doing some calculating, and Stryker for us, but strike out for Eddie on the other side.
Yeah, well, I'll talk about it right here. I'll let you take this.
The 0-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3 from Chase Stryker, but on that subject, if Eddie hasn't been striking out Tom Sox batters, he hasn't been having success.
Exactly. I mean, in his 2 innings, 5 total strikeouts, 3 in a row right now. So although the Tom Sox were able to get to him in that last bottom half of the second, still striking guys out and looking good out there. And it's only a 1-run game, Luke. So much baseball left. We're only in the 3rd. So right now for these pitchers, it's keep the game in your control close as possible for your offense to work.
John Howard, the cleanup man, swings and misses at the first pitch. He walked his first time at the plate.
For Stryker on Mariniak, that was his 2nd strikeout of the evening.
Howard, the third baseman tonight, hits this one on the ground. Couple of hops to short. Easy pickings for Nick Parham across the diamond to Ferraro at first. And 2 quick outs here recorded by the Tom Sox.
That's what you got to do right now. I think Stryker's been so settled in, Luke, since that bases loaded walk. I feel like he's already read the offense now, and now he knows where to go with his approaches here with Levy calling the shots behind home plate. And like what you said earlier, too, with the Adam Dolphinmeyer, probably telling him, missing outside to a lefty, inside to a righty. So it's little things like that can really just, you get that pep talk and could be a difference maker.
Here's Bennett Fryman, the first baseman, who looks at a ball inside. Yeah, and Dolphinmeyer probably telling him, hey, we're sticking with you for a few innings, so get your you-know-what together. The 1-0 now coming to Fryman, who also walked his first time at the plate, hits a foul ball off the mask of the catcher Levy. It's 1-1. And not sure who that is for the Tom Sox, not in uniform, but a dead sprint out there to pick up the ball.
That was yesterday's starting pitcher, Trevor Bowen, who had a solid outing yesterday for as short as it was, going 2 1/3.
Explains why he's not in uniform. We will not see him tonight as the 1-1 is served into left field on a Texas League single. Good piece of hitting there with 2 outs from Fryman. He's reached base both times at the plate tonight, and the Cavaliers have a 2-out base runner.
Good piece of work going the other way for Fryman on that outside pitch. Got all of that one, just went right over Blauser over at third base and drops in the left for a single. So just like that, Cavaliers at 2 outs, trying to get a little bit of momentum here.
Bryce Demery, the right fielder, struck out looking his first time at the plate. 2-1, Tom Sox in front, but the Cavs with a base runner here in the top of the 3rd.
For the Tom Sox, just like you mentioned with Stryker, his innings are valuable. The other night in that 7-6 loss, the most in the season for the Tom Sox, they threw 8 arms in that game, going 10 innings.
Another pickoff throw to first, not in time. Now from the stretch, Stryker fires and a swing and a miss on a fastball, 0-1.
Challenge him on that first pitch, right down the middle, able to get him to swing. Good approach there. He'll try to get some breaking stuff.
Demery out of the University of Lynchburg, which until a few years ago was known as Lynchburg College in the Old Dominion Athletic Conference. They run on Stryker again. The pitch is high, called a ball, and a good throw by Levy, but just not quite in time to Ryan Wynn as Wynn puts the tag down late. And the 3rd stolen base of the game for Culpeper.
That one was the closest one out of the 3, Luke, as most of the Tom Sox started to trot off the field until I think, what do we have over there? Vance Coleman called him safe.
He did beat the throw. I think if Wynn had gotten to the bag a second earlier, that's probably an out, but he had to kind of jump and make the tag at the same time. It's 1-1 to Demery, who has an RBI opportunity here. Stryker fires, up and away, ball 2, 2-1.
That last at-bat, that was his first strikeout of the game for Stryker, was able to get him looking on a breaking pitch on the outside corner. So 2-1 count. See what he'll work with here.
Righty on righty. Good looking bender there. It's swung on and missed, strike 2. And the throw almost goes into center field back from the catcher Levy. Good job there by Stryker to corral it.
Both at-bats, Stryker's been able to get Demery to swing on that outside breaking ball. See if he'll try to challenge him again.
Stryker looks in, comes set at the belt. Looks back to second. Rocks, fires. This one is hit on the ground to third. Tough hop, but it goes right into the glove of Blauser. And the throw across the diamond to Ferraro at first in time. So a hard hit ball by the Cavaliers. Good defense there by the Tom Sox. And they get out of the inning going to the bottom of the 3rd. It's 2-1 Charlottesville here on Tom Sox TV.
I love Jeff. He's a wizard.
Welcome back to the broadcast booth here at Willie T. Barnett Field. It's holidays on the hill, Christmas in July, whatever you want to call it, and we are We've only got one Santa suit in the booth. As Luke Ned Carney and Matt Cabram rejoin you, but making the best of it here.
Yeah, we split it, you know? You get the suit, I'll take the hat, and,
Yeah,
you know,
and
it's
stupid
festive
hot
enough.
out here, but
Well, hey, hot outside, but here in this press box, it's nice and cold
Not
in here,
too
so
bad.
we're good in here.
we are about an hour and 12 minutes away from Uruguay versus Brazil
Oh, I'm nervous.
in
This
Copa
is a tough
America,
game.
but Tom Sox with a 2-1 lead. Bit of a soccer-like score here through 2.5 innings as Ryan Wynn digs in out of Wofford. Been a regular infielder for the Tom Sox this year. And he takes a strike. It's 0-1.
When struck out his first at-bat, that was Eddie's first one of the night, and right now he's riding on 3 in a row, 5 total, if you just joining us late.
The 0-1 to Win, fouled back off the fists. It's 0-2. Win out of Douglasville, Georgia. As mentioned, played for Wofford, who was a postseason participant in the NCAA tournament this year in the Chapel Hill Regional, falling at the hands of the mighty LSU Tigers. The 0-2 from Eddie, misses upstairs.
They were the victims of the LSU Tommy Tanks.
Yeah, formerly of NC State.
Oh, wow.
I'm still a big fan. Still root for him. But yeah, the 1-2 hit on the ground, foul. 1-2. It will remain.
Very close friend up at Penn State from the Raleigh area who grew up a big NC State fan, and not like you, he's not a big Tommy Tanks guy. So
Well, of course, if Tommy Tanks stays at NC State, we probably don't get Alec Makarevich, who's
Exactly.
the current third baseman. So 6-1, half a dozen of the other as Wynn hits this one well. Deep to right field. Demery, however, with a beat on it and a couple of steps in front of the warning track. He hauls it in, out number 1.
big first out there. Wynn, though, with a good stroke, just going all the way out to right, but with that short port fence, Demery was able to find his footing and make that catch very easily near the wall.
Now to bring up Robbie Levy, the hero from 8 days ago, when Matt Cabram was not here.
I was going to say, you just want to keep saying that I wasn't here for an all-time classic. Sorry that my cousin got married. If I had a chance to miss that, I don't think my folks would be too happy about it.
I don't think so either, as Levy cuts and misses on the first pitch. 0-1.
Mom, Dad, I can't catch the wedding. Robbie Levy just went deep.
Quote of the season so far for the Tom Sox. As Levy out of George Washington swings at that 0-1 pitch and hits it sharply into left field the opposite way for a base hit. And he continues his stellar hitting since his injury and his recovery. On base now for the first time tonight.
No, that was
second time tonight.
second two singles in a row
yep.
for Levy. Getting his average up near the 300 mark again. His 21st and 22nd hit of the night, and
now Colby Wallace is at the plate. Double play depth now for the Culpeper infield. Wallace takes down and away. 1-0.
Wallace got bit on that outside pitch that last time.
Wallace, the designated hitter tonight. You'll see him at first base some. You also might see him some as a pitcher as he puts a charge into this one. Deep center field, going back, reaching up, and crashing into the wall, making the catch. A web gem by Ryan Story. His throw back into first base is not in time to double off Levy. That one went to the longest part of the park. I thought that might have been getting out of here, but a great play by the Culpeper center fielder Story to keep this a 2-1 ball game.
And if you're Wallace, you just got to tip your helmet to Story with that catch. What a play that was, jumping on that gravel warning track and just throwing his body on the line to make that one. And if you're Colby Wallace, you want to get that one back. You just missed that one literally by a few feet.
So 2 away, runner on first, Robbie Levy. And now digging in for the Tom Sox and swinging at the first pitch is Ferraro, the first baseman. Easy play by Kazuya Jordan over to Fryman at first, and that is out number 3 here in the bottom of the third inning. It's 2-1. Tom Sox will take a break and come back here on Tom Sox TV. Bruce Springsteen blares over the public address. The Tom Sox lead the Culpeper Cavaliers 2-1, and as we go to the top of the 4th inning, it's time to turn it over to the distinguished Matt Cabram.
Yeah, Luke, thank you so much. You steered the ship for a little bit, but I'll take the reins here. And right now we're going to have Brock Bollinger standing up, the designated hitter. Flew out to Ethan Gibson. Deep center field fly ball back in the first inning, I should say. That ended the bases loaded rally for Chase Stryker, who's still on the mound looking really good. Stryker in the windup, his first pitch he deals. It'll be a first pitch swinging, popped up. Ryan Wynn, second baseman under it, calling it, and makes the grab for the first out.
Seen a lot of first pitch swinging from the Culpeper hitters tonight, beginning with the very first batter of the game. And the longer this game goes with the Tom Sox in front, the more selective they might want to be.
And for both, we've seen that also too with the Tom Sox lineup tonight too. And for both pitchers, I mean, both these guys are trying to go as deep as they can, and those first pitch outs go a long way, Luke.
Most definitely trying to save pitch counts, which college coaches are all about pitch counts.
Especially these guys playing their summer leagues. I mean, you can get shut down anytime from your college pitching coaches that first pitch. Chrisman just outside can be gloved by Levy for ball one.
Well, luckily, nobody was on base there because that ball bounced up way high. Would have been enough for a runner to take 2 bases.
Stryker, the 1-0. Swinging. Ground ball to Blauser at third. This is going to be a tough throw all the way across, and he'll make the play. Cooper Blauser showing off the hot corner arm right there and gets a big second out there for Stryker. That one's been 3 pitches, 2 outs.
Big advantage there for the Tom Sox. You had a catcher running. Blauser knew he could let that ball come to him instead of trying to charge it and letting him eat him up a little bit. And then it's a pretty easy thing to do to just throw it across the diamond.
It's going to be Rasecki who came up back in that top of the second, had a single and then a stolen base, but then grounded out to that long 1-5-4-5 as our analytics staff, Asher, told us that was the play on that one. And the first pitch to him is going to be upstairs for ball one. Stryker's just been electric since getting out of that early jam. It's been really settled in. That one's outside for ball 2 into the dirt.
Rusicki out of Marion, Connecticut. Just basically right in the middle of the state.
Came into this game hitting 250. Definitely went up after that first at-bat, and this one's going to be on the third pitch of the at-bat. Popped up for Caden Ferraro, making the glove catch, and he's going to retire the side. So 6 pitches, 3 outs, and it doesn't get better than that for Chase Stryker. But we're going to take a quick break here on Tom Sox TV. Stick and stay with us here. Well, back here on a festive jolly night here at CHS here. Willie T. Barnett Field right now. Your Tom Sox lead 2-1 over the Culpeper Cavaliers. If you're just joining us late, Matt Cabram, Luke Nardini.
Ned Carney.
Ned Carney, wow.
Almost.
How about this, me messing up your name on the broadcast?
Man.
I just lost some brownie points there with you.
That's all good. If not the worst, definitely not the worst. I once got a telemarketer asking for a Mr. Nadkursky, and there's no S in my name. So
yeah, no, that's bad.
I was like, nope, there's nobody by that name here. Click.
Still on the mound for the Cavaliers, Brock Eddy, who's been shining since. I mean, he did have that 2-run home run back in the second inning, but since then, he's been looking real sharp. Still has 5 strikeouts on the night. He's able to get key outs from induced plays, even though giving up that single to Levy that last at-bat, the second pitch. Oh, that one's across for a strike. It'll be a 1-1 count.
And this is the guy responsible for the Tom Sox lead, Brookins, who hit the 2-run home run.
Mashed one over that right field short port fence. That one's going to be outside for a ball. Could have been called a strike if the catcher, Crispin, probably held on to that one, but that one popped up and out of his glove. Looked like a goalie getting fooled in the hockey by a knuckleball puck.
As a Washington Capitals fan, I see a lot of pucks go into my goalie's net. So.
Wow. Always grateful for 2018 as Brookins.
Negative 37 goal differential this year and still made the playoffs somehow.
Be 2-2 to number 50 from University of Florida. And the 2-2 pitch. That one's going to be popped up. Mariniak's under it, the shortstop. And he'll make that catch for the first out. And Luke, since I took over here, there's a lot of pop-outs here.
Yeah, I mean, the ball not quite carrying the way it did earlier in the game. It was a really hot afternoon. Things have cooled off just a little bit. There's some cloud cover. And yeah, these are two pitchers who like the ball in the air. I mean, if you're Eddie, you had that one that went too far in the air for the home run, but looks to be how he's comfortable getting outs.
Cooper Blauser now back up. Had his hit back in the second inning. First pitch swinging for strike one. Blauser with 3 straight hits in that second inning, but then the bottom of the order could not pick him up, as Eddie was able to fan 3 in a row. Just number 1 out. Blauser will try to start the party here again. And the 0-1. Outside corner, called for a strike, 0-2.
Blauser out of Johns Creek, Georgia, northern suburb of Atlanta. Home of that U.S. Open Tennis Series event. Called the Atlanta Open, but they play in Johns Creek.
The 0-2 pitch upstairs, 1-2.
And out of Jacksonville State. Just one state over in Alabama. Not Jacksonville, Florida, but Jacksonville, Alabama.
And that next pitch to Blauser in the dirt. And it'll be a 2-2 count. And for Blauser, only 1 hit since joining the team in his 4 games. Now technically 2 if you count the one tonight. So 2 hits in his 12 at-bats technically. So trying to make a case to be one of Randy Tomlin's guys to be put in this lineup late in the season. And 2-2 pitch. Oh, that one is swinging in the air to left. But the left fielder, Rashecki's right under it at the warning track, and he'll squeeze it away for the second out.
That one looked and sounded really good off the bat, but a little bit later in the evening now, temperatures cooled off, ball not carrying as much, and we don't have any wind to speak of, as the Tom Sox have a lefty throwing in the bullpen.
For that lefty, it's looking like Brett Gasto.
Yeah, it was Gassman earlier, and I think it's him again.
Now the first pitch to Nick Parham sitting in here, swinging and missing strike 1. Parham was the first victim of that second inning 3 in a row via the strikeout from Eddie. Just a beautiful night here. A lot of fans out in the hills. Can't really tell from the camera angle, but got a good crowd out there. I'd say about 20 people out there just enjoying from the hill. And holiday on the hills night. Some people got to be out there.
Absolutely. Of course, we just had the biggest holiday in national history, Independence Day, this week.
And the next pitch is on the outside corner for strike 2, and Eddie's trying to make quick work of this Tom Sox lineup. The 1-2, here comes his windup. Swing and a miss, strike 3, gets Parham to bite again. And just like that, it's still a 2-1 game here on Tom Sox TV. Your Tom Sox lead at 2-1. We'll be here still after the break. back here in a 2-1 game from Willie T. Barnett Field at Charlottesville High School. Seaville Weekly, technically, on the Point Streak website. Tom Sox lead at 2-1. We're going to have a pitching change. It's going to be number 44, Brett Gassman. And, Luke, what do we got on Brett here?
Well, Brett Gassman has a decorated record of 3-1 this season for the Tom Sox. 6 appearances. This will be his 7th. A little bit high on the ERA, 6.45, but man's a strikeout machine. We've had Chase Stryker, who came into this game with 18 strikeouts in 15 innings and added to that total. Brett Gassman doing him one better, 15.1 innings pitched, 19 strikeouts on the season thus far against 8 walks and 14 hits. So Brett's a guy that's going to throw some heat out on the mound, and now it goes from the right-handed Chase Stryker to the lefty Brett Gassman. So a challenge for these Culpeper hitters.
So like you mentioned, 19 strikeouts in his 15 1/3 innings pitched. And for Brett, it'll be a big one here. I mean, if you look at his game log, I mean, it's like inverted every time he takes the mound. A win and a loss, a win and a loss, and a win and a loss. He only has 1 loss towards his record, but for the Tom Sox, if it can roll out how it's been going, it'd be on a good pace here to see how the rest of this game folds out. But the offense needs to back up Gassman, though, if that wants to be true. It's only a 2-1 game, only in this top of the 5th, so he's got some work that both teams need to do, and his first batter will be Rusecki, the left fielder. No, Story, the top of the order. My apologies. Rusecki flew out his last time up. And the first pitch from the tall lefty. On the outside corner for a strike. 6'1". Does look a little bit taller, though, on the mound in the spikes. 208, as we mentioned earlier. The Little Rock, Arkansas native. Talked to Brett a few times this year. Big Razorback fan. Definitely growing up in Arkansas.
The Razorbacks football team used to play at least 1 game a year in Little Rock in addition to their normal Fayetteville home schedule. I'm not sure if they still do that.
The 1-1 count. Gassman, the lefty, deals. On that outside corner again, able to paint it twice and gets the 1-2 count.
Also, Gassman pitches at Charleston Southern, which is a Charlottesville connection to that team. Former UVA pitching coach Carl Kuhn is his current pitching coach.
The 1-2 to Story. Gassman deals. Can't find that one again. The count would go up to 2-2.
Kind of an ideal time for him to come in after you've gone through the order twice with the starter Stryker.
Stryker in that dugout could definitely give him tips on where to face these batters. Oh, Gassman on the 2-2 pitch. Tried to find that same spot where he got the first 2 strikes, but home plate umpire Freddie Rivera does not agree. We'll run it full here. And here comes the full count pitch. And a fly ball in the air to right. Muma under it. Makes the grab for the first out.
Sam Muma's had a bit of a quiet night tonight. We haven't heard a lot from him in the field, but there he is there. Perfect position. That was a well-hit ball. And if Muma's playing a little bit closer to the line, that ball probably gets down for a base hit, but positioned perfectly was the Florida Gator, and there's one away.
They'll bring up Kazuya Jordan. 0 for 1 today. Walked his first time up, made it all the way to third, but did not score, and then grounded out to Blauser his last time up back in the 2nd. That first pitch is up and out for ball 1.
Blauser, on the other hand, has been busy in the field for the Tom Sox tonight.
The 1-0. Gassman, swing and a miss, strike 1. Able to get Jordan to swing out of his shoes on that one. That one was trying to look like he was trying to tie this game up.
Culpeper bullpen is quiet.
The next pitch is in here to right again. Muma, since you've mentioned his name, now makes 2 in a row.
The ball will find you, as they say. And it's found Sam Muma twice here in this top of the 5th inning with the Tom Sox ahead by a run.
Now, big 2 outs here for Gassman under a short amount of pitches. Trying to get out of this inning now. He's got Connor Marniak 0 for 2. Fly out to right to Muma, who made that diving catch in the first inning to preserve the lead. And then strikeout victim to Stryker back in the 3rd. Gassman's first pitch to the Miscordia University hitters outside for ball 1.
Fun fact, Sam Muma was raised on a cattle farm.
Wow, you don't
Muma. I don't actually know if he was, but since he's made 2 catches this inning, we might as well keep him in the spotlight.
Well, you mentioned earlier about Lake Muma over near Covington. Another shout-out homage to Ben over there, one of our media directors. Been killing it on that social media grind.
Gassman now behind in the count.
Rakash just returned today from his trip as that 2-0 pitch is outside for ball 3. I thought we were going to get a Freddie Rivera emphatic strike call, but doesn't agree on that one, so that one was 2 outside. His count would be 3-0. Gassman misses for ball 4. So a 4-pitch walk after 2 quick outs, and it's going to bring up the 4-hitter John Howard, who's 0 for 1 today. Walked, then grounded out to the shortstop Parham his last time up.
Tough walk to issue there on 4 pitches with 2 away. Kind of stunts any momentum you've gotten by those 2 flyouts.
John Howard, the top 3 hitters for this Culpeper team. Kansas came in 361. Got him picked off, and he got him! What a pickoff move by the lefty Gassman, able to get Mariniak just hung up there. And a big third out here. We're going to go into the bottom of the 5th. Tom Sox coming back up to hit. You're right here on Tom Sox TV. Stick around. Oh, and we're back here on Tom Sox TV. Tom Sox still lead it 2-1 here on Holidays on the Hill night, bottom of the 5th. And after a pickoff there by Brett Gassman, able to get him out of a quick 8. If you really think about it, Luke, you did have that 4-pitch walk, but you go back to all those outs. Kind of a quick inning of work there for Mr. Gassman.
Definitely was, and that's what you want if you're Randy Tomlin. You come in with a pitching plan, and you stick to it here. As Gassman was kind of the second guy out of the first guy out of the bullpen, second guy to the hill.
First pitch to Sam Mumma, who we've talked about a lot in that last half inning, making 2 big plays.
Of course he leads off the inning.
After we talk about him, you know what? These folks are probably listening to this broadcast, loving the season to send one in the air to center field, but at the wall, Story making a big catch deep out there, but Sam Mumma gave him a little bit of a spotlight for the last 2 innings, or the last 2 half innings, I should say. But that one was a deep fly ball, and be 1 out for the Tom Sox, and we're back to the top of the order. Ethan Gibson back up looking for his first hit of the night, trying to stay hot after that performance last night on the road in Waynesboro. By the time his 3rd at-bat was up, it was already the 3rd inning. So that offense had that power yesterday to keep coming up in big moments. And here comes the first pitch to the leadoff hitter. Goes for the bunt, pulls it away, but we'll take strike 1 per Freddie Rivera.
And he's one of those players that literally can do anything, including bunt for a hit. So you've got to be aware of him when he's at the plate. And he was probably just trying to catch the Cavaliers sleeping there.
The 0-1. That one's out away. And that one bounced up high, too. So one of those balls, if you're a base runner, definitely could nap, too, if you time that right, especially if you're going on a pitch. Be a 1-1 count to Gibson. Ground out first time up. Strikeout victim second time in the 2nd. Comes the 1-1. He's going to put this one in the air to center field. And at the wall again is Story, who's having a busy night out there in center. It's 2 outs.
We've seen a lot of well-hit balls to the outfield from both teams these last couple of innings, maybe getting more familiar with the pitchers. But with the weather cooling down a little bit, ball not carrying quite as much, and no wind, they're all just kind of dying out there at the warning track. This is a pitcher's park by Valley League standards.
Ryan Wynn back up, flying out a deep one to right field his last time up. That was Demery with the catch over there in right field, and his first pitch will be upstairs for ball 1. Wynn trying to find his 21st hit of the season if he can in this at-bat. And he's going to line one there, right there. And that's going to get down for a base and go all the way to the wall. Wynn will take the turn. He'll be going to second. No, he will not challenge the good Arnold Demery, and he'll slide back into first safely for a 2-out single.
And he made the right decision there because that was an absolute bullet by Demery back into second base, and he cut that ball off right before it got to the fence and able to hold that to one base. And that's pretty big now because keeps the runner out of scoring position.
Well, I guess he heard that I was talking about him. Now he lines his 21st hit of the year, and for the Tom Sox, 6 total on the night in the 2-1 game. And now we'll see if Robbie Levy can help generate a 2-out rally here with a runner on first. First pitch to Levy's going to be lined to the other side, and that's going to be over the head of the left fielder, and it's going to get all the way down to the wall. Here comes Wynn. He's going to get the wave from Tomlin, and Levy's going to be standing up on second base. Wynn comes in to score, and your Tom Sox lead it 3-1.
And you never know, Robbie Levy suffered an injury just about 3 weeks ago, the way he's been swinging the bat. That's a big insurance run for the Tom Sox. As well as they played on defense, it was only 2-1. And in a game like this, a 3-1 lead feels like a little bit more, as we've got time called by Brandon Mack, the manager of the Culpeper Cavaliers, and it's time for a mound visit.
And this will be a mound visit, nobody up in the Culpeper bullpen. And back to that hit by Levy, it will probably go in the book as an E7 as the left. And nope, from our scorekeeper Asher, they will give Levy the hit, so it will be going into the book as a double. And for Ryan Wynn, I mean, once that ball got over the outfielder's head, he was doing the mad dash from first to home and able to score a big run there. You knew right away Luke was looking at me, pointing at Randy Tomlin. He got that wave right as the ball was in the air. So
yeah, he was coming home no matter what.
Tomlin knew that if that ball got down, easy chance for Wynn to score, and just like that, it would be a 3-1 Tom Sox lead. But no pitching change here. We're going to keep it with Eddie on the mound facing Colby Wallace, and another sitting duck over there on second base with Robbie Levy after that double.
And the Cavaliers have sent Tyler Smith, a left-hander, out to the bullpen. He's yet to start throwing, but he's getting there. Just stretching a little bit.
Eddie, who's had a good night regardless of what the score looks like now. Still a tight game. First pitch to Wallace outside for ball 1.
And that third time through the order is when you really start to get hit hard if you don't have that good third pitch.
6 total strikeouts for Eddie, but 3 major runs here for the Tom Sox. And no hits bigger than these 2-out hits off the bats of Wynn and Levy, the 1-0. Outside for ball 2. So now if you're looking at Eddie, the way he's been throwing in this inning, got a good first 2 outs quick and looking a little bit fatigued out there on the mound with some of these pitches. As Luke mentioned, you got to have that good third pitch around here when you're facing an order for the third time in the game. 2-0. And he'll get Wallace to pop up. It's going to be the catcher trying to call it off, or the first baseman. Who's going to call it? It'll be the pitcher himself, Eddie, taking it for the pop-up, 1 assist. And just like that, the Tom Sox get 2 hits, get a run on those, and have a 3-1 lead. So take a quick break here on Tom Sox TV. Stick and stay with us. Back here on Tom Sox TV as Santa Baby by Ariana Grande blasts through the speaker. We'd like to shout out Ben Rakash, or known underground as DJ Press Play, here for the Tom Sox.
But DJ Press Play takes many forms here at Willie T. Barnett Field.
He does here, but a 3-1 now game. Tom Sox getting a big run in that bottom half of the 5th inning.
And, Matt, a big 2-out run. That was Ryan Wynn starting things with that hard single to right. You just get that 2-out base runner. Sometimes it leads to really fruitful things for your batting order.
And now back to Wynn. Great decision that he didn't go to 2 on that, knowing that Demery has a good arm out there and probably would have got him out trying to stretch that to a double.
And he scored anyway.
And he scored anyway all the way from first because that's how speedy these Tom Sox are. But Gassman's first pitch to John Howard, the 4-hitter, who had a bat in his hand the last time he was up and saw his 3-hitter Marignac get picked off at first to end the inning. Probably one of the worst feelings as a hitter, knowing that there's a guy on and the inning ends and it's not you. The 0-1 to Howard. In the air. Yelling at Mumon to come in on it, and he'll make the catch for the first out. There he is, Luke.
Again, the ball will find you. And going back to that double by Levy on that first in the bottom of the 5th inning that drove in a run, Rusicki, the left fielder for Culpeper, took his first step in. That doomed him trying to catch the ball. You saw Mumaw there, took his first step back and came in to catch it.
Great fundamentals there for the outfielders, and like me and Luke said, they were in a break. Cardinals sitting as an outfielder in baseball. You take that first step in and then get beat. And they paid up for it with the run. First pitch to Fryman, in there for a strike.
That press box visits by the brothers Goodman. Drew Goodman, of course, the media coordinator for the Tom Sox, and his brother Alex, who is about to move back to Charlottesville.
The Goodman gang, as Fryman will foul one off.
A few good men.
You would say that. That one was fouled off of Robbie Levy. He'll take a few seconds to walk and make sure his wrist is A-okay. Sometimes as a catcher, when the ball finds a spot that's not protected, it will take a few just to shake it off.
Yeah, and there's that umpire courtesy. We see Freddie Rivera giving that extra few seconds to Levy, dusting off the plate. You'll see that when the umpire gets hit with the ball, too. The catcher will kind of take an extra second.
The 0-2 from Gassman to Fryman, who's going to line one up the middle, and that's going to get down for a base hit.
Tom Sox unable to solve Fryman tonight. That's his 3rd time on base, his 2nd hit.
2 singles now for Fryman, as Luke just mentioned. And back to that courtesy, even pitcher Brett Gassman gave his catcher courtesy going out to his infielder, just trying to throw the ball around just to make sure that everyone stays loose. But it's going to bring up Demery now, who's had a quiet game so far, strikeout and a ground out, but he did have a great throw from right field that really stunned me and Luke here in this broadcast booth of how strong that throw was coming in from that corner and right to hold Ryan Wynn with that speed up only to a single in the first pitch to Demery's outside, ball 1.
Demery from Zion Crossroads.
Gassman, pickoff attempt again. This time it was Fryman who, if you're Culpeper, as much as it's not the good feeling, Marignac had to go in there and probably talk to the guys about what Fryman's over there at first, what Gassman does with the tempo of when he's going to go over there, and Fryman paid attention there because he's been taking a big lead there, but Fryman will go back to first as the next pitch is outside, or swing and a miss for strike 1 on the outside corner.
And as well as the Tom Sox have played through most of this game, still just a 2-run lead. This represents the tying run at the plate here in the top of the 6th.
Gassman's 1-1. Delivers. Swung on a miss, strike 2. Able to get Demery to bite twice. Just like that, a big 1-2 count here if you're Gassman. On deck, Bollinger, who's 0 for 2 today. So most of this bottom of the order haven't figured out the Charlottesville pitching yet. And there's a pickoff attempt again by Gassman. That one was a little too obvious with the way he was stepping over to first this time instead of just doing the movement with the arm. The lefty gets back on the mound, and he'll look into Levy to get his signs. Gets into the stretch. Ready to deal. And there's a pickoff attempt. They're going to get Fryman hold up there. Win with the catch and the tag and the second out. So 2 big pickoff attempts for Brett Gassman since entering this game.
Well, the Culpeper Cavaliers have been running this whole game. They've been aggressive on the base paths. That's been their game plan. And if you're Gassman, you've been watching this whole game from the dugout, and now you're on the hill. You've been thinking about that in the back of your head.
Now I think for the first time this year, we've had multiple pickoff attempts here at Charlottesville High School in one of these games. It's that next pitch is outside. It'd be 2-2 to Demery. It's one of the worst feelings, though, for baseball in the offensive scheme, though. If you get picked off, you don't want to look at faces when you get back into that dugout, especially on a lefty where you know those moves could be deadly.
Kangaroo court, they call it.
And a fly ball in the air to the left. Brookins over there. And the tall guy makes the catch. So Culpeper will get a hit, but Gassman able to keep everyone off the board. 3-1 still. We're going to take a break here on Tom Sox TV. We'll be right back. Back here on Tom Sox TV, bottom of the sixth. This will be my last inning of play-by-play before I send it back to the Honorable Luke here to my left, who we've been cooking it here. We got some festive,
great, man.
Some holly jolly mood here, and 3-1 game. The Tom Sox lead it 3-1, and it's going to bring back up Cade Ferrero back up, the newcomer from the team. And if you look at Brock Eddy, still game 3-1. He's still in this one, and as Luke mentioned, if the Tom Sox can start getting to him, we got some noise in now both bullpens, but for the Cavaliers, usually at this late in the game, if you get on without getting an out, that might be the end of your night. So the first pitch to Ferraro is on the outside corner for a strike.
35 on 35 matchup here. Ferraro wearing 35 for the Sox, and Eddy wearing 35 for the Cavs. As time is called, and I think a ball from the Cavaliers bullpen got over toward the catcher.
It's the only downside of those bullpens on the side of the field. Usually in the majors, you don't have to worry about that with how much those bullpen catchers get paid to protect everyone over there. I know in Oakland they have a weird dugout before they eventually make that move to Sacramento, then Vegas. With all that ground at the Coliseum, the next pitch to Ferraro will be outside, 1-1.
Ferraro out of Pearland, Texas, which is in the Houston metro area.
Now, as a media member, that's going to be my next question to Ferraro. Are you an Astros fan, and how do you feel about 2017?
Home of Megan Thee Stallion.
Yeah.
As well.
Wow. So, I mean, hey, 2 stars from out there, and one right now is up at the plate. In the dirt. 2-2 now to Ferraro, who's 1 for 2 today, a single. A ground out to the second baseman. Did score on that Bookins 2-run home run. Here comes the 2-2 pitch from Eddy. In the dirt, and this one will run full.
My guess is that he's going to say MLB didn't take away the World Series title, so we're still the champs.
We'll see. I'll ask Mr. Ferraro the next time I'm with him and the team doing.
This isn't Reggie Bush's Heisman we're talking about here.
That is true. And the full count pitch. That's going to be lined in the air to center. And that's going to get down for Ferraro's second hit of the game. And he's going to go for 2, trying to stretch into a double, and he'll be in there sliding safely.
And that ball was misplayed by Ryan Story. He was just nonchalant with that, scooping up the ball. It's going to be a single and an error on the extra base. And to that point, to our previous point, Matt, you got some Notre Dame in you, I learned before the broadcast. Of course, Rudy, everyone likes to say he was offside, but do you know what his response to that is? He's been quoted as saying, the referee didn't call me offside, so I was not offside.
Exactly. By the way, Rudy, one of the best movies
tremendous
ever.
Absolutely tremendous.
One of the best cinematic pieces ever created, especially in the sports scheme of movies. So now with a no out leadoff double, Tom Sox are back in position to score some runs here, and it's the 2 guys who did it back in the second inning. This time it's Ferraro with the double, the single going out to the error now in second, and now it's Brookins trying to bring him around. On deck, Blauser. And the 0-1 pitch. Brookins going to foul one off again, so 2 in a row.
Rudy, also one of the best film scores that you've got. Just the music in the background.
Check Cho first at GoCho.com.
As our PA announcer, Jeff Harrington, reads my favorite foul ball sponsor.
Cho Airport, a longtime sponsor here of the Tom Sox. I'd like to thank them for their generosity over the years.
Got to check first at GoCho.com. The 0-2 pitch upstairs for ball 1. Trying to challenge Brookins on that up and outside pitch, but did not get him to bite.
Real opportunity to take control of the game here if you're the Tom Sox, scoring position, nobody out.
And a game where the 2-run lead is really tight. A 3-run lead would really get some comfortability for the Tom Sox. That one's in the dirt, and that's going to make Ferraro trot all the way over to third as that one goes near the Tom Sox dugout. And just like that, 90 feet away, and all the Tom Sox need to do is just get him in any way they can.
A term I've heard recently in baseball is two-possession lead, which means your lead by more than 4 runs. The other team could load the bases, hit a grand slam, and you'd still be ahead. And the Tom Sox looking to get to that 4. That 4 is kind of that magic number for me anyway. But anything beyond that, of course, is gravy. But if we can get this guy in and maybe get another guy in against Eddie, a starter who's tiring.
Luke, I wish 4 runs was that cap for my beloved New York Mets, but unfortunately with their bullpen, a 4-run lead is never safe in Queens.
I don't think any lead is safe in Queens unless you've got Grimace on the hill.
Grimace is the one that kind of did die down a little bit. Here comes the 2-2 to Brookins.
Well,
outside, ball 3, so this one will run full.
Unfortunately, Mike Bolger's Philadelphia Phillies running away with that division right now.
I told Mike since we got here they're going to win the division, so hopefully I don't jinx his team. And Mike, I don't know why. Mike's, never say never, but come on, Mike, you guys had the division by now, and that one's going to be fouled off and away, so we'll run it again with the full count pitch.
And, of course, my Orioles hold a 2-game lead on Dylan Price's New York Yankees in the AL East.
And, hey, how was that score today, though? They're playing football.
The
3-2 again, upstairs, ball 4. So from 0-2 to 3-2 and a walk, Brookins wins that one, and he'll be over there on first. And now we got runners in the corners with no outs, and Cooper Blauser coming back up. 1 for 2 today, a single, and then a fly out deep to left field.
This might do it for Eddie. Brandon Mack, the Culpeper manager, was just outside in his bullpen checking on the readiness of his next pitcher.
We did confirm is number 38. That's Tyler Smith, a left-handed pitcher, so Culpeper will go to the lefties where usually a Tom Sox lineup with a lot of lefties. Not tonight. A lot of righties tonight. There's a beautiful sunset over the Charlottesville area right now. First pitch to Blauser on the outside corner for a strike as the catcher Crispin just took a look over there at Ferraro at third, trying to make sure there's no funny business over there.
Blauser singled and flied out to left. A fly ball would more than likely score a run here for the Tom Sox.
They had some sac flies yesterday. 2 RBIs off sac flies in the 16-4 win. Breaking ball again, but just didn't break low, and upstairs for Freddie Rivera, 1-1. Brookins at first. Ferraro over there at third, 90 feet away. No outs here for the Tom Sox. The 1-1. Blauser's going to line one through the hole, and that's going to be a base hit. In the score is Ferraro, and the Tom Sox have a 4-1 lead. And just like that, a single, stretch out to a double after that with the error, a walk, and then another single in a row. So right now the Tom Sox getting to Eddie, and we'll see if Brandon Mack will make a move to his bullpen. He's standing up out of his dugout, but still hands on his hip, so it looks like it's still going to be Eddie's game, with the Tom Sox still threatening. Runner back in scoring position on second base.
And as we say that, yep, here he comes.
So it looks like this will be the night for Eddie, who the score may say 4-1, but he was one of the best in the field tonight for the Cavaliers on this road game. Kept the game as close as possible for his offense to do some work, but some late Charlottesville solo scores in this inning. Able to bump him out of the game, and we're going to take a quick break here on Tom Sox TV. We'll be right back with the pitching change. to send it back now. Tyler Smith continuing his warm-ups. The lefty out of Auburn University. Pittsburgh native. 205-6-1 on the mound.
And this is how I divide people from Pennsylvania. Do they say Yins or do they say John? And this guy says Yins. He probably likes Sheets over Wawa, too.
Probably does big in that Pittsburgh side of the state, as opposed to Philadelphia. A lot of Wawa out there. And
of course, the Pirates with some funny business on Grimace, I heard.
Yeah, there was a Grimace suit thrown in the Allegheny River today to try to get Mets fans bugged out, but at the end of the day, Mets won today 5-2.
And they always take that stadium over, too. I went to a Mets-Pirates game at PNC Park a couple of years ago. The entire outfield bleachers were blue and orange, so...
The seven-line army, baby. They travel.
Yeah, no doubt about it.
They travel.
And they got to see the Pirates walk off on a grand slam by Jacob
Stallings.
Stallings. Yes.
I was at that series, but I was at the... not that game. It was the night before. It was the game where the Mets went up 6-0, but then blew it.
Oh, yeah.
The Pirates went up 6-0 in the first,
That's
and then
right.
blew it.
And then the third game of that series, there were ejections abound, and benches cleared, I think.
Jacob Stallings, clear the deck.
An old-school NL East rivalry. Certain school of thought thinks maybe the Pirates still should be in the NL East, but that's the tangent we got off because we have a new pitcher in the game from Pittsburgh as my empty drink cup goes flying across the press box as I attempt to gesticulate.
Well, very glad that was empty, Luke, with where that
No
landed.
doubt. David Argo would have had a fit.
And we would not have a broadcast. Smith's ready to go. No outs. Blauser on first. Brookins on second, and the first pitch to Parham is set to go. It goes for the bunt attempt, and he's going to get that one in the air. Thank God that one went foul, because anywhere more fair, that would have been catchable. Got to get that head down. Can't have that head showing up if you're a hitter when you go for these bunts.
Definitely can't. And here in the bottom of the sixth, Tom Sox already a run in this inning and really looking to grab this game by the throat.
And the 0-1 pitch, bunt attempt again. Pulled away, but then the snap throw from the catcher goes in the center field, and Brookins is going to try to take third. And he'll be in there sliding safely. And then the late go to second will be Blauser, who follows up that runner. And now the Tom Sox are all in business. Two guys in scoring position with no outs.
And I'm not quite sure why you make that throw down to second if you're Caden Chrisman there. Really nothing good that can come from it. And that's just what happens when you get rattled later in the game when your team falls behind. Culpeper led this game for a couple of innings, but Tom Sox grabbed control in the bottom of the second and haven't looked back.
The 1-1. Parham's just trying to extend this lead. The 1-1 pitch just missed, so it'll be a ball. I know if you're Culpeper, that one was close enough where Freddie Rivera could have given a strike call to Parham.
Cavs have the infield in now. They can't allow any more runs.
Knowing how close they've been playing, but that one sailed away from Chrisman, but he's able to glove it. Prevent anything from happening as Luke. You just look in the sky now. It's just getting beautiful. Just all around great night here in Charlottesville. It's just a tough night if you're not out here at this game. Beautiful crowd.
Blue and orange here in Charlottesville, appropriately.
Blue and orange skies. The 1-1. That's 3-1, I should say. Now one's outside for a called strike. Be 3-2 now to Parham. Bases loaded, no one out. First unoccupied. Runners on second and third. Tom Sox still in a lot of business to do some damage here. Here comes a full count pitch to Parham. Outside for ball 4. It will be a walk, but a big block there from Chrisman. That got away from his glove, and if he didn't block that with the body, could have been saying 5-1 Tom Sox, Luke.
And that's not the worst outcome, I think, if you're the Cavaliers. This way you set up a force at any base. Double plays in order in some capacity. Looks like they're going to shift their middle infielders back a little bit. No, as I say that, they come back to the lip of the grass. So Culpeper's still with their infield in here, trailing 4-1.
4-1. The infield is up. Will be at the plate for Culpeper if they can induce a ground ball here to Muma, who's 0 for 2, a strikeout looking, and a fly ball center field. The first pitch to him is on the outside corner for a strike.
Still nobody out here in the bottom of the sixth.
On deck, Ethan Gibson, the top of the order. Here on Holidays on the Hill night, Christian music has been blasting. The 0-1 in the dirt. It moves to 1-1. We'd also like to shout out our music today because no Michael Bublé Christmas music, and that's for me. I love that, Luke. I'm all about the classics. What about you?
I'm all about the classics as well. I like a good mix of kind of the more spiritual ones and then the playful ones too. Up on a Housetop is my favorite Christmas carol.
That's a great carol. The 1-1. Muma's in a line one for the hole, and that's going to be a base hit. And the score is Brookins. Here comes Blauser. He's getting the wave. The throw home's going to be cut off by the third baseman, and the Tom Sox have a 6-1 lead.
And that's the consequence to bringing the infield in. That was a line drive that maybe could be caught by the shortstop at normal depth, but due to the launch angle there and the velocity, it goes right over his head. And have a day, Sam Muma. Diving catch early in this game in the outfield, and now a couple of RBIs on a single, and this game is all Tom Sox right now.
And if you were with us a few innings ago, it was so tight where in a 2-1 game, the Cavaliers are having their tying runs come up to the plate, and just like that, that's all out the window. 6-1 Tom Sox that they've just been raking this inning. Parham over at second. Muma, the recent hit. Bunt attempt pulled away for a ball. 1-0 to Ethan Gibson back at the top of the order. And Muma over there on first. No outs here. On deck would be Ryan Wynn, who had a screamer of a 2-out double to start a rally his last time up. The 1-0, here comes the pitch from Smith. Bunt attempt again by Gibson, pulled away, and that one sails outside. It's 2-0. I think for Smith, trying to get those fast pitches in case those runners are going, but that's all out the window now, knowing that. Got to throw a strike here to Gibson. It's the last guy you want to have 3 balls on account with. The 2-0. Gibson swings and misses at strike 1 right down the middle.
As I'm trying to determine who that is in the bullpen for the Tom Sox, it's a right-hander. So we probably have seen the last of Brett Gastman.
Looking like number 22, Will Pearson, out there starting to get loose for the Tom Sox, throwing with the bullpen catcher.
Nobody in the bullpen for Culpeper.
The 2-1 bunt attempt pulled away, but that's on the outside corner, and Ethan Gibson will get rung up there. It's 2-2.
And that's one of those strikes that, because it's 6-1 in the 6th inning with the Tom Sox still threatening, that's zone widens a little bit. Scott Strickland, assistant coach, not happy with that call.
Strickland up at the top of the Tom Sox dugout in the 6-1 game. The 2-2 pitch swung on a miss, strike 3 for Gibson. So in a controversial strike call is Scott Strickland with his hands around his hips. Not happy with that one.
Of course, Randy Tomlin coaching over at third base, and Kenny Towns, former Virginia Cavalier player. We can't say his nickname on the air, but Kenny Towns coaches at
the
first.
The most decorative
for the Tom
playoff
Sox
player for the Cavaliers history, Kenny Towns.
Kenny freaking Towns is what we can call him.
That is true, Luke. And if you are familiar with our Tom Sox Weekly TV, back on our first episode, I did sit down with Mr. Towns to talk about being a coach here for the first time as a coach, and then also his days playing not too far from where we are at the University of Virginia. The 1-0. Wynn smacks one over their bullpen all the way foul towards the right side. It'd be 1-1.
And sometimes if you can get that first out, Matt, as Tyler Smith just did, you can kind of settle in. And we've seen Stryker do it back in the first inning after he gave up a run, and Smith's going to need to keep this deficit at 5 for Culpeper.
As Ben flexes his Kenny Towns appearance soon on the On Deck podcast, Wynn's going to sky one in the air, and that's going to go foul and way out of play.
That foul ball was brought to you by Cho Airport. Whenever you're flying, check Cho first.
There's our second Cho Airport sponsorship, and the chickens. A lot of animal noises on the DJ Bug here at Seaville Weekly. It'll be from chickens to geese to dolphins. So we got all the animals here in Charlottesville. Might as well call us Animal Kingdom. Big block there by Chrisman, and the count will go 2-2 to Ryan Wynn.
Just need some cows for Sam Muma.
True. That should be his thing now. If he gets a hit, play a little. There it is, as we got the request from DJ Press Play.
We are a tight-knit crew up here in this press box. Mind readers, in fact.
The 2-2. Smith will get his sign from Chrisman. And the 2-2 pitch. Got him swinging. Big strikeout there for Smith, and a big 2 outs back-to-back if you're the Cavaliers.
Just what I was talking about there. Tyler Smith comes into this ball game. Tough room for him to come in with runners on base, but getting those 2 strikeouts, now he's got to deal with Robbie Levy, who has hit the ball hard several times this evening.
And as if our press box couldn't get more tightly packed here, we got our media boss, Drew Goodman, walking around here, just making sure he oversees all of us here. Now we got David Argo, our media director, walking in, so we got a good crew here. First pitch outside for ball 1.
And we've got Robbie Levy. We've got Robbie Levy at the plate. It's a party.
Charlottesville party. Everyone's invited, according to Luke.
Oh, I never said that.
The 1-0 to Levy. He swings and misses for the first
It's not
strike.
Project X here.
Project X. Wow. Good
What were you, 5 when that movie came out?
Yes. I was young when that movie came out.
I was 25.
Wow. You're not that old.
No,
dude.
I just turned 32. I'm not that old.
You can look at day over 21.
Oh, I appreciate
the 1-1
that.
outside for ball 2. This David Argo just slipped me a paper that said I'm fired. So I don't know if I'll be ever putting on this headset again.
You can see what we look like here.
The 2-1. The 2-1 pitch. Smith, the lefty, looks back at the runner on second. And outside, 3-1. And if Levy does load the bases up, Colby Wallace is on deck, who's been mashing lately for the Tom Sox. For the Cavaliers, regardless if there's 1 out or no outs, or even with 2.
Big hitters count here. Put some
Big
more runs
hitters
on the
count.
board.
Hitters count, 3-1. Levy. Swinging a miss, swinging a drive to left, and this one is going to be fair. Or no, it's going to go foul. Randy Tomlin was given the wave to Nick Parham. Kind of messed up with me.
Gotta watch the umpire, not our coach.
Not our coach. I can't even see the third base umpire. He's actually over on second base, so I was looking for someone over there by third.
That was actually home plate umpire Freddie Rivera making the call there. Just given the positioning of the base umpires at the moment.
So with the 3-2 count, 2 outs, 2 guys on. Guys will be in motion on this Levy pitch. So anything that gets down or even into the gap, should it be 2-run scoring here? But let's see if Levy can make that magic appear. The full count pitch, runners go. Ball 4. So Levy will load the bases. And up comes the ECU Pirate, Colby Wallace.
Batting for your Tom Sox, the
Very disciplined at bat there, Luke.
Yeah, that was great hitting by Robbie Levy there, not losing heart with his back against the wall at the count at 2 strikes. And bases loaded once again for the Tom Sox here, and a mistake to Wallace, and Tom Sox have double digits on the board.
Parham at third, Muma on second. Now Levy, the most recent batter, walked over on first. Colby Wallace is 0 for 3 today. A strikeout, a flyout, and a pop-out to the first baseman his last time up. And his first pitch is going to be a ground ball to the shortstop, Mariniak. Goes a short way with that second base, and they'll get Levy over there for the third out. 3-run inning for the Tom Sox, so they stretch this one out 6-1. Going to send this one back over to Luke. When we come back, you're listening or also watching here on Tom Sox TV. We'll be back after the break.
A fabulous job done by Matt Cabram on the play-by-play through the middle innings, and a fabulous job for the Tom Sox offense as they lead 6-1. As during Matt's innings, we've scored 4 and kind of broken this game open a little bit. Luke Ned Carney rejoining you for innings 7, 8, and 9. Barring a Tom Sox run rule here, as new into the game on the hill is Will Pearson out of the University of Georgia, 6'2", 175-pound right-hander, native of Athens, Georgia, and he will bring about a 3/4 delivery to the mound, facing 7, 8, and 9 for the Culpeper Cavaliers, as Bollinger, the designated hitter, takes the ball to start.
And for Pearson, his 8th appearance of the year, 3.11 ERA, 8 2/3 pitch, 9 strikeouts, so almost averaging basically is a strikeout an inning.
Yep, and he steams in a strike there over the outside corner. I hear rumbles of REM, one of the most famous bands out of Athens, Georgia. Of course, the B-52s as well, as that one is hit sharply in the air to center field, and that's going to get down for a leadoff base hit here in the top of the 7th for the Cavaliers. Good piece of hitting there by Bollinger. And they have a new minor league hockey team in Athens known as the Athens Rock Lobsters.
Yep.
For the B-52s there.
A lot of good minor league teams down there. They got the Orlando Solar Bears, one of my favorite minor league hockey names, and got some good minor league baseball teams all around.
So the Cavaliers trying to scratch it back here in this one. Crispin, the catcher, batting against Will Pearson, who just surrendered a single on his first batter to Bollinger. 1-0 now inside.
Great appearances for Pearson. It's only his 7th hit he's allowed this year, Luke. All out dealing anytime he steps on the mound for the Tom Sox. Actually, in his 7 prior appearances, only one of those appearances he came on where the team ended up losing.
The 1-0 from Pearson is fouled away. They call him Willie P at Georgia. The Dogs made the Super Regionals in the first year under new head coach Wes Johnson. The 1-1 is called a ball, and a 4th stolen base racked up by the Culpeper Cavaliers, as going down to second and sliding in safely is Bollinger, runner in scoring position now on a 2-1 count.
That one was a tough one for Levy in his pop time. Kind of got stuck in the webbing when he tried to transfer to his hand, and he still had a snap throw after he kind of muffed it. So good attempt there, but for the Culpeper Cavaliers, kind of setting a story for other teams moving forward when they play the Tom Sox.
Pearson from the stretch, looks back, kicks, fires, misses inside. It's 3-1. Pearson, one of those pitchers that needs to get settled in. Seen him mow down with strikeouts. Is 3-1 count now to the batter, Crispin, with a runner on second. That one is hit off the fist, too short, ranging over. Parham making the throw. Nice play to keep the runner at second base. And that was 6-3 on the putout.
It'll be Ryan Wynn. They swap positions, as Randy Tomlin's been doing with his middle infielders, just to make sure everyone gets reps wherever they can be put in the play-in situation. So, and during this inning, Parham's now over at second, Wynn over at short. Just a good old swap. When we got the lineup card from the other day, he actually put multiple positions for a few guys because he's planning on making big defensive swaps at one point.
So that's a big first out there recorded for Will Pearson. Keeps the runner at second base. And the 9-hole hitter now for the Cavaliers, Jackson Rusicki, who's got a base hit to his credit tonight. Runner takes off from second, no throw down. And there's something he's picking up on Will Pearson's windup, because that was a great jump, the second straight great jump. 5 stolen bases now for Culpeper as they've got a runner 90 feet from scoring, trailing 6-1 here in the 7th inning. 1-0 the count to the batter, Rusicki. As Pearson comes set, delivers, fastball, called a strike.
Great
1-1
pitch on the outside corner. Back to that stolen base too, Luke. You said that he picked up something with how he delivers. For Bollinger, he kind of had a stutter step, and then he realized he was in the clear and then went going. So Pearson knew and he had a chance to tap off. He would have been a dead duck.
The 1-1 curveball misses high, and I think that's one when you're up 6-1, you're not quite as attentive as a new reliever into the ball game. You're not quite as attentive to that base runner with a 5-run lead as you might be with a 1 or a 2-run lead. As Pearson behind in the count, 2-1. He kicks, he fires. It's a slider, and it's fouled back over the head of the catcher, Levy. Back to the backstop, makes one of the Tom Sox guys, I think that's one of the pitchers not in uniform tonight, flinch behind the fence. Could be Booten, who we saw earlier. The 2-2 now with one away, runner on third to Rusicki. Pearson fires, swing and a miss, strike three as he pulls the string. And that was a beautiful pitch for the second out here in this inning.
Big pitch to get him swinging, and now if you're Pearson, you kind of settle down after that double stolen base on you, and 2 outs.
Ryan Story, the center fielder, had a great catch earlier in this ball game to rob the Tom Sox of at least one run. Batting with a runner on third and 2 away, and he takes a strike at the knees. Story out of the University of South Alabama, alma mater of David Freese and Luis Gonzalez, a couple of World Series heroes past. The 0-1 misses inside. 1-1.
Pearson's already got 2 big outs. That runner on third is not on his mind. For Story, single, a fielder's choice, and then a fly out to right. Be big if Culpeper can at least try to scratch a second run here, running on third.
The 1-1 from Pearson misses up and away. 2-1. As Story wears number 23. I think there was at least one famous athlete who wore number 23.
Yeah, I think his name is Michael Jordan, Luke.
Oh, that guy.
To the University of North Carolina, known as the University of National Championships.
Oh, I
think for you, you're an NC State fan, so I don't know.
You might be sticking my finger out my mouth when you bring up that university as time called by our catcher Robbie Levy out for a quick chat.
Trying to get the UVA heads here under their skin, and I forgot that you're the NC State guy who deals with them more.
And my dad has worked at the University of Virginia for over 30 years, and we're always rooting for the Cavs against the Tar Heels. So 2-1 the count now with a runner on third. Will Pearson looking to get out of this inning after surrendering a leadoff single, facing the top hitter, the top hole hitter, I should say, leadoff hitter in the Culpeper lineup. Story misses inside. It's 3-1. As Matt Cabram has pulled up the Uruguay-Brazil game in Copa America quarterfinals. This pitch misses outside. It's ball 4, and now a couple of base runners for the Cavaliers with the teeth of the order coming through, and that'll be up to Kazuya Jordan to keep things going, the second baseman.
Jordan, big chance here to try to claw back, and look at his stats here.
Jordan on the evening has a walk, a ground out, and a fly out to right.
Only 2 hits this summer. Only 1 RBI, so. But hey, in the game of baseball, this could be a big moment here for Jordan, regardless of what his summer stats show.
Runner goes from first, throw down by Levy, not in time, stolen base number 6. However, for the Tom Sox, the pitch was called a strike. No advancement from the runner from third. Now second and third for the Cavaliers with 2 away here, and a base hit now cuts this lead to 6-3 in all likelihood. Jordan out of Virginia Military Institute in Lexington, which you drive through on the way to Covington to play the Lumberjacks on I-81.
Oh, thank you.
The 0-1, 1-1. Time called again, and Jordan is going to now join up with his third base coach and manager, Brandon. But this is one of those offensive timeouts as Brandon Mack is out to talk to Jordan as well as the on-deck hitter, Mariniak. Levy will go out and have a quick little chat with Will Pearson, who faces runners on second and third. His team up 6-1 after a 3-run 6th inning for the Tom Sox, but Pearson in a little bit of trouble here with 2 away, as now our home plate umpire will break up the conference. Of course, in the Euros today, England beating Switzerland on penalty kicks, and Turkey falling at the hands of the Netherlands, who have one of my favorite players, Virgil van Dijk.
Love Van Dijk. Love him. Gakpo, that Liverpool connection.
Yep, 2 Liverpool guys. My favorite team there, the Reds, is 2-1. Now the count after down and away.
And for my favorite team, for England, Bukayo Saka, Arsenal. Big day for him. He's been in that pressure before on these world stages of the Euros, and he looked like he didn't skip a beat today.
The 2-1 hit off the fist foul from Jordan, 2-2. So it will be Spain versus France in one semi and England versus the Netherlands in another semi.
What a top 4.
That's going to be awesome. Tuesday and Wednesday are the 2 games.
Just a bloodbath for the last spot in the Euro Championship.
2-2 the count now from Pearson, second and third to Jordan. He fires way outside, 3-2. First base is open, but don't want to let the Cavaliers back in this game here in the top of the 7th. We just struck 9 o'clock here at Willie T. Barnett Field. Tom Sox up 6-1. Pearson, the payoff, comes set, misses just downstairs, and the Cavaliers have loaded the bases with the 3-hole hitter Mariniak up.
Mariniak, who's over 2 today, did get on with a walk, but then picked up by Gassman. In this situation, their best hitter in the lineup could really turn the tides here in the top half of the 7th.
Time called. We're going to have a pinch runner for the Cavaliers. Tyler Schulman out of Calabasas, California. A Harvard man takes the place of Kazuya Jordan.
Pinch running for Culpeper at first.
So he will probably stay in the game at second base. He's listed as a shortstop and a second baseman. There is action in the Tom Sox bullpen, and the bases are loaded with 2 away here in the top of the 7th.
Yeah, it's going to be Daniel Powell warming up.
Out of Roswell, Georgia.
He's been lights out when he's gone on the mound for Charlottesville this summer.
Fellow Georgia boy, Will Pearson, Athens native, facing the bases loaded. 2 away to Mariniak, who takes a strike, 0-1. Mariniak out of Reading, Pennsylvania, plays his college ball at Charlotte, formerly known as the University of North Carolina at Charlotte in athletic contexts. Still the official name of the school, the 0-1. Swing and a miss, strike 2, and that's a good pitch there by Pearson.
Right here, Pearson's put himself all in his own driver's seat. You got the bases loaded, 2 outs. You know you only got to focus on the one guy up at the plate, and he's super right on this account. He can throw whatever he wants in the next few pitches to Mariniak.
With the bases full, 0-2. Pearson comes set at the belt, fires a tailing fastball, and that one misses outside.
Good idea. Tried to get him to bite.
Got to be careful, though, because if a ball gets by Levy, that's a run for the opposition, in all likelihood. 1-2 the count. Bases juiced. Tom Sox by 5. Pearson fires. That one almost again gets by Levy. Good job there by the backstop. And now the count is even. Tom Sox scored 1 in the 5th, 3 in the 6th. Culpeper hasn't touched the scoreboard since the top of the 1st inning, looking to do that here. The 2-2 from Pearson with 2 away. Swing and a miss, strike 3, as Uncle Charlie comes for a late visit, and the Tom Sox get out of the inning as Culpeper leaves the bases loaded for the 2nd time tonight. 6-1, Tom Sox in front as we stretch here at Barnett Field. This is Tom Sox TV. Tom Sox lead 6-1 here at Barnett Field as they will have 5, 6, and 7. Caden Ferraro leading things off against Tyler Smith, the left-handed reliever for the Culpeper Cavaliers, who left the bases loaded for the second time this evening in the top half of the 7th inning. Good job by Will Pearson to get out of the inning and swing and a miss on a first pitch there by Ferrara, who's at first base tonight. Has a couple of singles sandwiched around a ground out. This one is a bouncer to second, and now he has 2 singles and 2 ground outs to second, as that is scooped up by Tyler Schulman, who's new into the game defensively after pinch running.
Hey.
Over Fryman at first.
Hey, Luke, he's had 2 ground outs, 2 singles, but with both of those 2 singles, he started 2 rallies for the Tom Sox to score some runs.
We always take more of those. It's Blake Brookins, the left fielder, who's had the big blow tonight for the Sox. That 2-run home run back in the 2nd inning that gave Charlottesville the lead, and they haven't looked back from that as it's now 6-1. Brookins takes the pitch inside, and it's 1-0. As he wears number 50. Hit on the ground. Blake Brookins, of course, Miami native, plays at the University of Florida. The 1-1. I wonder if he's a Gloria Estefan fan, like I am.
That might have to be a media question for
him. It might. 2-1 the count now. Foul down the first base line, 2-2. I'm actually going to a wedding in a few months, and I was told that Congo was on the playlist for the reception, so I'm ready. I am ready. 2-2 the count. 1 away for the Tom Sox here in the bottom of the 7th. Called third strike on a fastball on the outer half, and Brookins knew it. And that's the second out recorded here in the bottom of the 7th inning with the Tom Sox ahead by 5.
2 big back-to-back outs for Smith, both via strikeout. This time was Brookins. Wow, he got Brookins looking.
We got Books, we got Brookins. They went down looking. I mean, Jeff Harrington says we're cooking. All we need is Russell Wilson here in the press box to make it complete. As coming up now is Cooper Blauser out of Jacksonville State, the third baseman. Son of Jeff Blauser, former Atlanta Brave and Chicago Cub.
Covington.
Covington Lumberjacks.
There have been a lot of random shout-outs on this broadcast tonight because of me and you tonight.
The 0-1 is downstairs in the dirt as Blauser has a couple of singles to his credit as well, sandwiched around a fly out to left field. He wears number 15 out of Johns Creek, Georgia. Jacksonville State Gamecock. The 1-1 is on the way. Foul ball, this time toward the Culpeper dugout. As Tyler Smith looks to work a routine bottom of the 7th with his team down by 5. The Tom Sox have a lefty going in the bullpen now. We've seen some action. Daniel Powell, I should say. So that pitch to Blauser called a strike. 2-2 the count. Now the 2-2 with 2 away, gets by the catcher and misses low. Nobody on base to advance. And we go full.
Big pitch here to Blauser to determine if Culpeper can get right back to their lineup or if the Tom Sox can stage another 2-out rally.
Up by 5, but could always use more insurance. The 3-2 is hit well into center field, sending Story back, but on the lip of the track. He reaches up and makes the grab for out number 3. So the Tom Sox go quietly here in the bottom of the 7th inning. To the 8th we go. 6-1 Tom Sox on Tom Sox TV. Tom Sox go to the bullpen again here as we go to the top of the 8th inning. Good inning worked by Will Pearson, and now they go to Aiden Alexander, the left-hander out of George Washington University. He goes 6 feet, 195, and Matt Cabram is watching soccer right now because his beloved Uruguay national team is taking on mighty Brazil.
Hey, they haven't
Copa America. No score yet in that one.
They haven't looked mighty in this tournament, unlike Uruguay. But, hey, let's get back to the Tom Sox. We got, as we just mentioned, number 10, Aiden Alexander. 2-0 record this year, and this will be his 8th appearance on the season. A sub-2 ERA at 168. 10 and 2/3 innings pitched. 7 strikeouts and allowed 2 walks and only 5 hits. And now in his 8th appearance.
And one of the All-Stars, I believe, that represented the Tom Sox last week in Purcellville. So we'll see if it's one pitcher per inning these last 2, or if he just goes with Alexander does Randy Tomlin. As the Culpeper Cavaliers running out of outs, they'll have the middle of their order due up. And it's John Howard, the third baseman, out of Kinston, North Carolina. And Howard tonight has drawn a walk, grounded out, and flied out. Swings and misses at the first pitch. Kinston, North Carolina, home of Reggie Bullock of the Dallas Mavericks, formerly of North Carolina, and Dwight Clark, going way back, former San Francisco 49ers tight end, known for the catch. If you're a Dallas Cowboys fan, cover your ears there as the 0-1 is over for a strike. It's 0-2. And now the 0-2 misses outside, 1-2.
Alexander, the Hamburg, New Jersey native. His best appearance was in a 10-1 loss to the Turks back on the 12th of June. Had 4 strikeouts and 8 batters faced. That one just sailed outside, Luke.
2-2. With nobody out, nobody on. Leadoff hitter here in the top of the 8th inning. 2-2 misses downstairs, and the count runs full. Hamburg, way up north in New Jersey. That's kind of a little bit to the west, north and west of the city. Full count, base is empty. Misses up and away, ball 4, and Culpeper gets the first runner on here in this top of the 8th inning.
Just like that, anything could be a good start to a rally. We saw with the Tom Sox, Luke, and for Culpeper, it's only a 5-run game, no outs, and they just get that first guy on. In the heart of the order coming up.
Here's Bennett Fryman out of Arizona State, first baseman tonight. He's a Frisco, Texas native. Frisco is the home of the Star, which is the Dallas Cowboys training facility, and also played host to the Conference USA men's and women's basketball tournaments at one point. And the Dude Perfect headquarters, according to Ben Rikosh. And the Rough Riders AA team. As the first pitch is swung on, hit on the ground between first and second, and through for a base hit. So runner moves up 90 feet to second, and now Culpeper has their first 2 runners on here in the top of the 8. Tom Sox not quite out of the woods yet.
Just like that, like I said, with the first guy getting up and getting on base with the walk, now a hit. So when the Tom Sox turn things over back to the lefty, now it's time for these righty hitters of Culpeper. Well, that one was a lefty on Fryman to try to figure something out here.
Now it's up to Bryce Demery, who's had a quiet game tonight, 0 for 3. Strikeout, ground out, fly out. First pitch taking, and it's upstairs for a ball. Demery out of University of Lynchburg, formerly known as Lynchburg College. Division III school in the famous around these parts Old Dominion Athletic Conference. The 1-0. Hit sharply on the ground, too short, past a diving Ryan Wynn, and this is going to get a run home for the Cavaliers. It's an RBI single for Demery, and it's now 6-2. Culpeper cuts into that lead a little bit. Still nobody out here with runners on first and second in the 8th.
Well, Luke, 3 straight base runners. One just scored, no outs, and got some humming here from Culpeper.
A game is 9 innings, and we've only played 7+. So Bollinger, the designated hitter. A walk, a couple of singles, have gotten things going for Culpeper here in this top of the 8th inning. Alexander, the lefty, from the stretch. He kicks, he fires, misses outside, ball 1.
All right, now if you're Alexander, you just got to attack this hitter at the plate. You got to get, at some point, you're up 4 now. You said that magic number earlier. You got to trade some runners getting advanced here just to get these outs.
First and second, nobody away. Alexander looks in, looks back to second, now turns back and steps off the mound. Randy Tomlin up pacing around that edge of the Tom Sox dugout. The 1-0. Off-speed pitch, swing and a miss. Good-looking throw there by Alexander. Pitching coach Adam Doffelmeyer is seated on the bucket there. And Scott Strickland is up leaning against the fence. The 1-1 in the dirt, blocked by Levy. The runner is going to try to go to third. Levy's throw gets into left field. That's going to score another run. And the runner on first moves to second, as coming home to score is Fryman. And that will send Demery to second base. 6-3 now our score here in the 8th, and still nobody out.
Another run over there on second base. If technically, Luke, they get a runner on, the tying run would come up to the plate here in the 8th inning.
Got to get those last outs. You can't run out the clock in baseball, as Randy Tomlin is now on the edge of that dugout again, and we'll see what kind of leash Alexander gets here. 2-1 count, nobody away. Throw back to second. That one almost goes into center field. What a job there by Nick Parham to salvage that throw. And the Tom Sox just kind of look out of sorts now. Time called by the catcher, Levy, and he's going to walk up to the mound. The batter, Bollinger, couple of flyouts, but also a single, and he's got an RBI opportunity here. Conference charge to the Tom Sox, who still have to get this one put away. 8th inning, 6 outs to get, and the 6-1 lead has been trimmed to 6-3 in the blink of an eye. The 2-1, called a strike over the outer half, and it's 2-2. Alexander from the stretch, comes set, fires, hits. This ball is hit in the air, center field, coming on Ethan Gibson, and that's going to be out number 1. Good job there by Gibson, and not deep enough for any advancement from the runner Demery, so that's an even bigger win for the Tom Sox in my opinion.
For Culpeper, the catcher, number
Big out there
49,
for the Tom Sox, and now Randy Tomlin coming back out.
And that might do it for Alexander here with another righty coming to the plate as the mound visit theme music here at Willie T. Barnett Field, one of my favorite movie themes. Axel F. from Beverly Hills Cop, a fantastic movie as well, as Alexander will head off, and we will get you the name and numbers of the new Tom Sox pitcher on the other side of this timeout. Tom Sox up 6-3. There's 1 out in the top of the 8th, and Culpeper has a runner on second base. This is Tom Sox TV. Tom Sox go to the bullpen yet again. Daniel Powell, 6'3", 195 right-hander out of Roswell, Georgia. He pitches at Kennesaw State. Luke Nedgarney, Matt Cabram here with you at Willie T. Barnett Field. And Matt, this inning started with a 5-run lead for the Tom Sox. The lead's been cut into at 6-3 now. And Culpeper still threatening with a runner in scoring position.
And Luke, they went to their biggest arm right now in Daniel Powell. You just said where he's from. 1-0 record this year, a 1.63 ERA in his 8th appearance. 3 saves on the young season, or getting to midseason now, and then 12 strikeouts through 11 innings pitches. He's only allowed 5 walks, 5 hits, and this guy has just been shut down anytime he comes into the game for the Randy Tomlin, Adam Dolphinmeyer pitching staff. And right now it's very big. You just mentioned it, a 5-run lead to start this one, and Culpeper is just about a base runner away from getting the tying run to the plate. So that's why they went to the tall 6'3" right-hander out of Kennesaw State University to try to keep things tight at 6'3".
So 6'3" and 6'3" on the scoreboard, as dealing with the 8-hole hitter for the Cavaliers, Christman, the catcher, who his last time at the plate grounded out to short. He's grounded out to second as well and flew to center, which is where Ethan Gibson resides tonight. Batting with 1 away and a runner on second base. A fastball over the outside corner. Strike 1 from Powell.
Big first pitch fastball from Powell. Definitely trying to attack these hitters any way he can to make them uncomfortable in these at-bats.
With 1 away, the 0-1. Kicks, fires, misses down and out. On deck for the Cavaliers is the 9-hole hitter Rusicki, who's got a base hit tonight. And then the lineup goes back to the top. Top 8, Tom Sox by 3. The 1-1 from Powell. This one is hit high in the air, short center field, into that no-man's land area, and it's going to get down past a sliding Gibson. The runner, Demery, charges around third, and he scores standing up. And that's going to go down as a single, an RBI single for the 8-hole hitter, Christman. 6-4 now our score, and Randy Tomlin is out to check on his center fielder, Ethan Gibson. As Tom Sox have had a slew of injuries this season. And back to the way that ball was hit, that was Tom Sox playing no doubles defense in the outfield. Outfielders playing pretty deep. And I was just hit in that area where nobody could really get to it. And now a 3 spot put up by the Cavaliers in this inning. Silver lining for the Tom Sox, as it looks like we're going to have a substitution. Coming into the game is Jake Books. We'll see who he replaces. I wonder if that's going to be Ethan Gibson in center field, who's headed out of the game. So that's actually my mistake, Parham. Books goes to center field. As we'll get all these subs straight after a bizarre sequence there. Jake Books into the game in center field. So Books in for Ethan Gibson, I believe, or is it Parham?
Little pickoff attempt there.
Diving back safely as the runner. Nine-hole hitter Rusicki at the plate, facing Daniel Powell. And he fouls that one back off the fists into the fence. You probably heard that one. Rattle the bars there. It's 0-1.
Now the 0-1 count. We'll see if Powell will go right back at Rusicki. Because this second out, Luke, is really massive now with trying to keep more guys off base.
The 0-1. Curveball dips in there for strike 2. 0-2.
Well, I guess Daniel Powell heard me, and we'll see if he can challenge Rusicki again, because at this point, any run coming up now or any batter is the tying run technically. Culpeper's just one swing away from turning the tides here in Seville.
6-4 the score, the 0-2. Curveball. I don't know where that missed, but it missed. It's 1-2.
Oh, inside fast curveball, and I think that dropped right over the plate.
I mean, in the 8th inning here in a 6-4 ball game, that's got to be a strike. But it's 1-2, and now Powell will have to shake it off. He kicks, he fires fastball, and that one getting squeezed again by our home plate umpires. That should have been strike 3 the second time, and now instead the count is even. Two, runner on first, one away. Tom Sox by 2 in the top of the 8th. Powell misses downstairs, and you might as well just put him on base now. If you throw 2 perfect pitches that aren't called strikes, there's no way in the world you're getting another one over the plate to the same batter. I've seen that too many times. Powell looks in. Now he looks back over to first. The runner on first base is Christman. The batter is Rusicki. 3-2. Up and in. Did he go around? No, he did not. And Randy Tomlin out. He is contending that the batter tipped the ball on that check swing. And really, I think he's probably more upset about those the 1-2 pitch and the 2-2 pitch that did not get called strikes. Now we're going to have a conference with the umpires. This is the second time Coach Tomlin has kind of invoked this, I don't know about rule, but where you can have the umpires conference. And Tom Sox in a tough spot here in this inning, still just 1 away.
Well, if we had replay, Luke, we could see if the ball changed directional paths on the if he did swing, but it's going to be a judgment call here, and very eager to see how these umpires did. It already worked in Tomlin's favor early in the game on that fair ball down the line. And they're going to say he didn't go and didn't make contact, so it will be a walk.
Yeah, tough one to overrule there, as the Covington Lumberjacks have an 8-4 lead over Waynesboro down at Casey Field in the bottom of the 7th. And the Harrisonburg Turks in the top of the 7th lead the Stanton Braves 6-3 over at JMU. So those are your South Division scores. 1 out. Ryan Story, the batter, the center fielder. And the Tom Sox have given up 3 this inning and looking to get out of it, as now we get a called strike on a pitch that hits the spot. 0-1. Righty on lefty matchup, Powell and Story. First and second for Culpeper. They trail by 2 with 1 away here in the top of the 8th. The 0-1 is fouled back out of play. 0-2.
And now 0-2 here. Be a big out here for Powell, but he's got to go at him here. You can't leave it in the hands of Freddie Rivera again.
Double play depth for the Tom Sox infield. Culpeper's plated 3 this inning. The 0-2. Hit on the ground, 2-second. Gobbled up 4-6 for the 1 out, and that's all they're going to get, as that was a nice job there by Parham.
Big second out there at 4-6, and for a win. Did want to throw it over the first, but smarter to hold that ball, knowing that the ball's been thrown around a few times by the Tom Sox in this inning.
And they weren't getting him, and that was not going to be a double play. Too tough to turn.
Story's speed is very good, very fast over there at first.
So the tying run is aboard still on the fielder's choice, and now at the plate for his first at-bat of the game after coming in as a pinch runner is Tyler Schulman, the second baseman out of Harvard. Powell misses upstairs.
Batting for Culpeper, 31, Tyler Schulman.
Just like the last batter and Story for the pinch hitter here. Just got to go right at him.
1-0 the count. First and third for the Cavaliers. Runner takes off from first. Pitch gets by the catcher. Play at the plate. The throw gets by the pitcher covering. It's not going to be enough for any more advancement. The runner pulls up a little bit lame. He scores the run, and now it's a 6-5 ball game and a 2-0 count with a runner in scoring position.
Well, this inning started off with a lot of comfortability for the Tom Sox, and just like that, a 6-5 game and the tying run over on second base in scoring position.
Tough break on a walk a couple batters ago. Powell threw 2 third strikes, and neither of them were called. As the 2-0 misses, or I should say foul ball out of play.
Two 1 count. Got to see a big challenge pitch here by Powell.
The kick, the delivery, right there. You just called it, Matt. Oh, right over the outside corner, and the batter kept the bat on his shoulder. It's 2-2. Tom Sox looking to get out of this inning. Still with the lead after a 4 spot by Culpeper here in the top of the 8th. 2-2 the count, runner on second. Powell kicks, fires, swing and a miss, strike 3, and the Tom Sox eke out of the inning, still in front on the scoreboard. However, Culpeper back off the mat. We've got an exciting last couple of innings here at Willie T. Barnett Field. It's 6-5 after it was once 6-1. We go to the bottom of the 8th here on Tom Sox TV. Almost a brand new ball game here at Willie T. Barnett Field. Luke Ned-Carney, Matt Cabram here in the bottom of the 8th inning. And the Tom Sox cling to a 6-5 lead over the Culpeper Cavaliers, who just plated 4 in the top of the 8th. And credit to Tyler Smith, who stepped in and shut the Tom Sox offense down during his time on the hill. And he now looks to hold the Charlottesville offense at bay as Nick Parham takes one off the back of the leg to start. And that's going to leave a mark. He'll not really trot down to first. He'll take his time and walk down there and lead off base runner for the Tom Sox just like that here in the bottom of the 8th.
That's very big for Charlottesville, Nick. And although that's going to be a tough bruise in the morning for Nick Parham, you got to take what you can get. And that's just getting on base any way you can in a 1-run game here. Especially how things have kind of turned a little bit in Culpeper's favor.
Nine-hole hitter now up for the Tom Sox, Sam Mumaw, the right fielder, who's had a great game this evening. Pitch bounces in the dirt, gets away from the catcher, not very far. They snap throw down back to first, and diving in just safely is Nick Parham. So Parham maybe a little bit rattled after getting hit by a pitch and almost got caught in no man's land there. The pitch was a ball. It's 1-0, and Jake Books is on deck. He came in for Ethan Gibson, who we hope is okay after that attempted sliding catch, is squaring around to bunt, pushing it up the foul, the first baseline foul is Mumaw, who, Matt, you pointed out is the baby on this team. Just 18 years old.
18 years old, born in 2006.
My goodness, what?
I think I remember just sitting down with him for one of our weekly things, and he mentioned he was born in 2006, and I had to take a double take.
I'm taking this headset off. You got it the rest of the time. Goodness me. Nearly half. 2-1 now, the count as that one is inside. There's that meme that's like, I'm 35, I have my whole life ahead of me, and then the announcer's like, here comes the oldest player in the league. He's 32. A miracle. Real ones know, as Mumaw gets a nice bunt down there. It's mishandled by the catcher and over to first. Not in time, as Caden Chrisman couldn't come up with that one cleanly. That's going to be scored an error. And the Tom Sox with 2 men on here in the bottom of the 8th looking for some insurance.
Big error there, and for the Tom Sox, insurance is your best friend right now, and we got one of the hot bats right now. Didn't get the start today, but had a great day at the plate last night, Jake Books, and 3 hits yesterday, 5 RBIs. Big spot for him here at home.
Books now in center field after replacing Ethan Gibson, so you've got Books in center field for one team and Story in center for another, as Jake Books is squared around to bunt, and he pulls back.
I guess it's a battle of the novels, you would say.
Well, it was the best of times for the Tom Sox defense through the first 7 innings, and it was the worst of times in the top of the 8th as they gave up 4, but still lead by 1 as Books squaring around to bunt. And he takes that one right off the number 4 on his jersey and tosses the bat angrily towards the dugout. And that's the second hit by pitch here this inning. And just like that, the Tom Sox have the bases loaded with nobody out.
And now, no opportunity is bigger than the one in front of us, and it's Ryan Wynn who has the bat in his hand, who, at this point, Luke, could be a hero of tonight. I mean, it's only a 1-run game, and we saw what the Culpeper Cavaliers did last inning, so any hit or any run right now is super big for the momentum of Charlottesville if they want to try to pull the strings and pull this one out.
Need to grab that momentum back here after giving up 4 in the in the top of the 8th inning. As the top of the order, really the teeth of the order coming up. By the way, Dean Mijos is in the lineup also for the Tom Sox, as he replaced Brookins. Wynn takes the ball downstairs. The man out of Wofford, 1-0. Wynn on the evening, 1 for 4, a couple of strikeouts, a fly out to right, and a single. Has scored a run as well. Giant hack at that one, and he barely gets a piece of it. It's off the end of the bat, foul. I think it actually went off of his shoe as well. 1-1. Wynn started at second base, over at shortstop now. Oh, a shortstop who wears number 2. How about that?
Hey, you know.
Never heard of that before.
Yeah, the Jeter wave, I guess you'd say. Growing up, I had at some point the Rawlings turn 2 glove.
Of course.
Before, obviously, being a Mets fan, I went over to the Rawlings David Wright glove.
David
Not the
Wright.
Rawlings, the Wilson.
Virginia native David Wright out of the 757 in Virginia Beach, as that one is hit sharply on the ground to short, gobbled up, and they're only going to have one play over to first, 6-3. That's Marinac to Fryman. Scoring on the play is Parham, and the Tom Sox get one of those runs back. It's now 7-5.
Big run there for the Tom Sox. Gets that cushion back, but Luke, we're nowhere near that 4-run cushion again, and the way that the Cavaliers showed up in that last top of the 8th, you got to get more here, and who else but then Mr. Hot and Cold himself, Robbie Levy, standing up in the box.
Great walk-up music. Katy Perry, one of my favorites, too. Late 2000s, early 2010s, Katy Perry was just undefeated. And Robbie Levy swinging a hot bat as of late. Fouls that one out of play. 0-1 as Culpeper has the infield in once again. Runners on second and third for the Tom Sox. Trading that out for the run. They now lead 7-5. And this game was at 1.6-1 in favor of the Tom Sox. It's tightened up a little bit, so Charlottesville looking here in the bottom of the 8th for a little more breathing room. Here's Levy. High foul ball again. This one's going to get out of play.
That foul ball was brought to you by Cho Airport. Whenever you're flying, check Cho first at Go Cho.
Levy out of George Washington University, which underwent a nickname change this past athletic year. Formerly the Colonials, they are now the Revolutionaries. School located in Northwest D.C. Foggy Bottom. As that one spiked into the ground, that's going to get by the catcher and way high in the air, and that's going to allow the run to score. Mumaw trots home. It's 8-5 now, Tom Sox.
And even better, Books ends up taking third now. With one out, all Levy has to do is just at least get a ball in the air and be back to a 4-run lead for the Tom Sox.
Yeah, man, basically anything in play unless it's directly to a fielder as Culpeper keeps the infield in. Colby Wallace, the power-hitting right-hander, is on deck. And nobody in the bullpen for the Tom Sox, which means it will be Daniel Powell out there looking to close things down. Tom Sox looking for win number 20 on the season. Here's the 1-2 to Levy. And Smith upset there as he didn't get that call on a curveball, 2-2. Books is the runner on third. Levy at the plate, 2-2 to him, and he chops that one foul. And almost a great barehanded play made in the dugout by the man in the hole, Ferraro.
We just got that sprint again from Trevor Booten, assistant home plate umpire with the baseballs.
Hey, man, he's got the best seat in the house. Last night's winning pitcher, last night's starting pitcher, I should say. You know, he knows he's not going to have to go in there tonight. The 2-2, swing and a miss, strike three as Culpeper pitching finally figures out Robbie Levy. That was the first time he's been retired tonight. A couple of singles, a double, and a walk, and now add a strikeout to that. So 3 for 4 officially on the night. Now Colby Wallace will look to keep things going for the Tom Sox, who have played at 2 here in the 8th and lead at 8-5.
They've been able to at least figure out Mr. Wallace, who's been raking recently for Charlottesville. A strikeout, a fly out, a pop out, and they ground out the short. So he's at it all today. Just anything besides getting on base.
Is there a term for, like, the cycle, but that? Like, the anti-cycle?
I guess that's it.
Downstairs for ball one.
I mean, that's crazy. He flew out to the outfield, deep center field, popped up to the first baseman, a ground out. So, yeah. I think what would be missing is, like, an infield fly, I guess.
Well, that's not possible here with a runner on third and 2 away. So he's at least safe from that as that pitch is upstairs for a ball.
That is very safe.
Maybe he'll get on base with a catcher's interference. That's or reach on an error. That'll keep him at 0 for today. The 2-0 to Wallace out of East Carolina, swing and a miss. I think that the catcher thought he dropped it, but he actually caught it, as Chrisman is kind of taking a beating behind the plate tonight. Of course, Scott Strickland, assistant coach for the Tom Sox, a former catcher himself. His son, Cale, member of this team as well. He platoons with Robbie Levy for the most part.
Out of Auburn University.
Same school as Tyler Smith, the current pitcher for the Cavaliers under Butch Thompson, former Georgia pitching coach, and Auburn, one of the 2 teams left out of the SEC tournament this year based on standings. The 2-1 from Smith, foul tip, and that's gets by the catcher, but dead ball, and it's 2-2. And out of the 3 teams in the SEC that are nicknamed the Tigers, only LSU made it to Hoover this year.
Guess they're the Golden Tigers, I get you'd say, this year with the gold color scheme that they have.
Bayou Bengals, and of course couple of Bulldogs in the SEC as well, in Mississippi State and Georgia. Now Longhorns and Sooners as well, as the 2-2 comes down inside, or it's downstairs and outside to 3-2.
Big pitch here by Smith.
Of course.
Difference between keeping this rally going for the Tom Sox, or Culpeper getting a chance to try to fight back in that top of the 9th.
Of course, a new-look Big Ten coming this year as well. The payoff to Wallace, low and inside for ball 4, and Tom Sox have another base runner with Oregon and Washington, and USC and UCLA joining that conference, and the ACC, a new look too. No longer just the Atlantic Coast Conference. I mean, not that it was to begin with, but you're adding SMU, Cal, and Stanford, and some coast-to-coast conference action for a couple of leagues.
Yeah, as a former Big Ten student, alum for Penn State, it's a little different, but it should be a fun opportunity. I'm just not a fan of our student athletes going out west with some homework they got to do during the week, but other than that, they'll figure everything out. And I mean, hey, the only thing will be cool is like, hey, I'm in LA one day, and now I won't be. So
right. First pitch is up and in, and the runner takes off. Wallace from second, he gets down. So second and third now for the Tom Sox with Ferraro at the plate out of Blinn College. The 1-0 to the first baseman. He sprays it foul, out of play.
Ferraro, good day today at the plate. 2 big hits, sparking 2 different scoring opportunities, and we'll see if he can get something here to cap off a big scoring drought here, or drive, I would say.
1-1, 2 away, second and third for the Tom Sox, who have played at 2 here in this bottom of the 8th inning. The 1-1 hit sharply on the ground, 1 hop to the shortstop, over to first for the out. Nice play there by Connor Marinac to retire the side, recovering that hard-hit ball. Tom Sox plate a couple of runs, and they move the lead out to 8-5. 3 outs to get with a 3-run lead. Here comes Powell out for the top of the ninth on Tom Sox TV.
Whenever you'd like.
Luke Ned-Carney, Matt Cabram, 8-5. Tom Sox with 3 outs to get here to try and polish off the Culpeper Cavaliers. And real quick before we start the ninth, over to Matt Cabram.
Luke, beautiful night of baseball, but sometimes in life there are bigger things going on in baseball. And I'd like to take this time to shout out our boss and our team president, Chesley Mullins, who's been away from the team recently dealing with personal matters. Chesley is not only our boss, but has opened her arms to myself and many of our media partners like Mike Bolger as our host family. The Mullins are an amazing family. They've provided for so much for people like me and other interns around here. The Tom Sox are not nearly ran as good as they are without Chesley, and the Mullins family are the heartbeat of the Tom Sox and also the community of Charlottesville. Just wanted to let the family know that they have an entire team, organization staff, community of Charlottesville. They're thinking about them, showing them love, and praying for the family. And just one more time, just wanted to thank you, Chesley, for allowing us to do what we love, having fun with it, and making Tom Sox baseball fun and especially family-friendly.
Very well done, Matt. I second all those comments as well. Also, I'm thrilled to be able to come up here a few times this summer and call some baseball as well. Back to business on the field as the Tom Sox looking to salt this one away with Daniel Powell. It's a 1-1 count to the 3-hole hitter, Connor Mariniak. Base is empty. After the Culpeper offense got going in the 8th inning, the 1-1 is over for strike 2. 4 runs for the Cavaliers in the 8th, making it 6-5, but the Tom Sox getting a couple of their own for some breathing room. As from the windup, Powell and the 1-2 pitch misses inside. Culpeper struck first in the top of the first inning on an RBI walk from Fryman. Bottom of the second inning, Blake Brookins for the Tom Sox, a 2-run home run that gave them a lead that they have not yet relinquished as the 2-2 comes in just upstairs on the curveball as Powell wanted that call, isn't going to get it. Now the count goes full.
Like we've seen so many in these at-bats, Powell needs to be aggressive here and just go right at these hitters, especially getting that cushion back.
The payoff, fastball misses down low, and leadoff base runner here for Culpeper in the top of the 9th inning. And the Cavaliers get some just-in-case bullpen action started with a left-hander over on the down the left field line.
Culpeper, number 17, John Howard.
Here's John Howard, the third baseman. Drawn a couple of walks tonight, sandwiched around a ground out and a fly out. Culpeper has stolen 5 bases tonight. The kick, the delivery from Powell has hit a ton, but foul. Wow, that one was turned around in a hurry, but the batter was well ahead of it, and it's strike 1.
In a great baseball term, Luke, if it was fair, that one was gone, but that one was foul.
Yeah. A equals B, B equals C. 0-1 the count. I was never very good at math. I try to stay away from it here on the mic.
Neither do I. That's why I was a broadcast major.
The 0-1 still has to wait as we get a pickoff throw to first, not in time. Powell out of Kennesaw State. From the stretch, righty-on-righty matchup. That one is called a strike at the knees, 0-2. Culpeper has won 3 in a row. Tom Sox looking to stop that and get their 20th win of the season. The 0-2 hit foul, and we'll do it again.
And Powell so ahead on this count now. For Howard. Hitless in this game, walked twice. Ground down a fly out.
Powell looks in. Now he looks back over to first. Runner on first, nobody out. Tom Sox by 3, top 9. The 0-2 upstairs for a ball. Little bit of stirring going on in the Tom Sox bullpen, but the person throwing doesn't have baseball pants on, so not sure they'll be coming in the game. The 1-2 from Powell. Swing and a miss, strike 3 on a heater right down the middle. Came right after him and records the first out of the inning.
That's so big for Daniel Powell, knowing that he can get up. We've seen him pitch before, and we've seen him track where he's been up in the lower 90s, and he just uses that speed right past John Howard, their second best hitter in the lineup. And man, was that a big out, Luke?
Yeah, get that first out. We've talked about this all night. Get that first out and settle in a little bit with a 3-run lead. Runner on first, Fryman the batter, and he's been a tough customer tonight. 3 singles and a walk. Out of Arizona State. First pitch from Powell, swing and a miss, strike 1.
Big first strike there by Powell's got to control and set the tempo and all the rest of these at-bats.
Double play depth for the Tom Sox. Parham at second, Wynn at short. Ferraro the first baseman, Blauser at third. The 0-1 to Fryman. Hit foul, high in the air, behind us, out of play. Tom Sox 4 strikes away from stopping this 3-game Culpeper win streak. And looking to get win number 20 on the season. First home game for the Sox in over a week. Had the All-Star break and then a long road trip. The 0-2 comes inside and nearly gets Fryman. Good thing he got out of the way of that one because that one had a little mustard on it.
That one would have left a nice shiner in the morning.
Not in the mood to take one for the team.
Not this late in the game, especially how he's been hitting tonight.
1-2 from Powell coming. He looks in. Comes set at the belt. Kicks, fires. Another swing and miss. Strike 3 recorded again. And now the Tom Sox 1 out away as Daniel Powell has settled in nicely here.
Powell's been looking unfazed since allowing that early walk to Mariniak. He's able to get Fryman and Howard, their next 2 best hitters, swinging, and, well, down to their final out. The rest of the game is in the hands of Demery.
Demery singled his last time at the plate. Tom Sox will hit the road tomorrow, go over the mountain once again for Gypsy Hill Park in Stanton, Virginia, taking on the Braves. First pitch outside and a little bit low. 1-0.
Always a good time when the intern crew travels over to Stanton. A lot of good memories over there. Ben Rickoff shaking his head at me. No, but Ben realizes that was the first day where a lot of us met. So
1-1 the count as that pitch foul tipped into the mitt of Levy. Runner on first for Culpeper. Their last hope here is Demery. Powell looks in. The 1-1 misses just outside. Looking ahead for the Tom Sox. Monday's an off day. And then we'll be back here at Seville Weekly Ballpark, or Willie T. Barnett Field, against the Lumberjacks on the 9th, and then another day off, and then the Turks come to town on the 11th before we head to Culpeper on the 12th. The 2-1 misses upstairs, 3-1. Now if you put Demery on, then the tying run comes to the plate, which is strange to think about, but would be the reality. Three and one. Powell misses downstairs, and now just that, as Demery draws the walk. And now Bollinger, the designated hitter.
Batting for Culpeper, number 25, Brock Bollinger.
He represents the tying run, as this one not quite over yet, as we approach the 10 o'clock hour here in Charlottesville.
It's been a great game all around, even for both teams. I mean, Big shout out to Culpeper. At 2 innings ago, this was a 6-1 game, and 8-5 right now. Tying runs up at the plate. It's been a good night of baseball here in Charlottesville.
First pitch to Bollinger is check swing. He did not hold up. They appeal down to Vance Coleman, the first base umpire. Coleman says yes, he did, and it's 0-1. Look for some potential movement on the base paths here from Culpeper. They've stolen 5 tonight. Tough to get it out of this park, but we've seen stranger things. The 0-1. Called a strike at the letters. That one a little generous, but we will take it. As Culpeper down to its last strike. Bollinger, no batting gloves look. You can call that the Moises Alou.
He's Moises Alou. I'm Steve Bartman.
The 0-2. Curveball gets over the head of Levy. Doesn't really break, and no steal necessary as both runners advance 90 feet. Now a base hit makes it a 1-run ball game. You really were like 5 when that Steve Bartman thing happened, maybe even younger.
Crazy. Actually, no, 2003, I was 1 year old, dude.
1 year old? Boy. So not a math or grammar guy either. 1-2 the count now from Powell. Tom Sox looking to salt this one away and stop a 3-game losing streak. Or stop a 3-game winning streak from the Cavaliers. Powell comes set, kicks, fires. Just misses upstairs. He took 3 steps off the mound back to the dugout, but he's going to have to do it again. And that pitch has been called consistently a ball all evening long, so Randy Tomlin not real happy. He thinks this game should be over, but that has been a ball all evening from our home plate umpire, Freddie Rivera. A 2-2 with 2 away. Called third strike on the outside corner. Bollinger cannot believe it, but you can put Sox on this one as the Tom Sox get win number 20, 8-5 over the Culpeper Cavaliers, and hold off some charging offense and get just enough on the scoreboard to get win number 20, Matt. What a good win for this team, and take the momentum going into Stanton tomorrow.
Started off on a great night for Chase Stryker. Was battle-tested early. He was able to come through, get into his groove. We even saw a great outing by Brett Gassman and even Will Pearson. Things got a little shaky with Alexander and Powell here at the end, but they were able to dig deep, fight for the team, and they were able to come back with the win. And for the offensive side of it, big night for Brookins hitting his first home run in the green and navy. Ferrari with a great game, too, and just all around a great team win for the Tom Sox, Luke.
So the Tom Sox improved their record to 20-8 on the season. Culpeper falls to 10-14. That loss ends a 3-game win streak for the Cavaliers. Our final line score, the Tom Sox 8 runs, 10 hits, 1 error. The Cavaliers 5 hits, 5 runs, 8 hits, 3 errors. And, of course, the final 8-5 in favor of Charlottesville. That's all we got for you tonight here on Tom Sox TV. For Matt Cabram, I'm Luke Ned Carney. Thanks for tuning in, everybody, and have a great night.